We do apologize for the technical difficulties that we have been encountering on the Bluefish broadcast, but there was a double play turn by the Bluefish, a 6-4-3 DP to end the inning. Bluefish still trail by a score of 2-0. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
I call this one Best Girlfriend Ever. It had been a long day and an even longer week, so I headed toward the kitchen, refreshment I did seek. But after swinging open the fridge, I saw the most horrific sight. Not a single cold beverage, not a single Coors Light. I grabbed my keys, it was time to hit the store, but stopped when I heard a knock at the door. It was my girlfriend, bearing gifts of Coors Light. Best girlfriend ever? You got that right.
Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team. At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year, we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community, too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you search with the Real Yellow Pages, you get more than a contractor. You get a whole new curb appeal. It's not just getting directions to a dry cleaner with YP.com. It's rescuing an old favorite from the back of the closet. And it's more than finding a locksmith with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting to sleep in your own bed. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the Real Yellow Pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T.
Hi everyone out there, this is Matt Pike, and you are listening to Perry Miles on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
We welcome you back to Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast. Perry Miles here as Bridgeport goes to the plate, trailing by a score of 2-0. First two runs of the ball game scored on an inside the park 2-run shot by Brandon Singh, the former member of the Bridgeport squad. Here comes Ramon Vasquez. He's followed by Darryl Jones and Luis Rodriguez as we are set for inning number 4. The trivia question, of course, is the favorite as the first pitch is on its way. It's a fastball on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. The trivia question for today: which member of the Bridgeport Bluefish left for affiliated baseball? The 0-1 lands over the middle, no balls and 2 strikes. Went into big league baseball and then went overseas. Which former Bluefish player in the last 4 years has went to the big leagues and then gone overseas? Send me an email, perrym86@gmail.com, as the next offering goes outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody on the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 to score. 4 hits for Long Island, and 3 of them for the Bluefish. Ramon Vasquez from the left side as Johnson sets up. Pitch is slapped into left field as it slices towards the line and drops in for a base hit. Craig Binnick did not want to take a chance. He played it on the hop as he veered towards the warning track dirt. And it sets up a runner at first base for Darryl Jones. The bottom of the order has been an obstacle for Dan Meyer tonight. Many base runners. 4 of the first 6 times that the 5 through 9 batters have come up in the lineup, they've gotten on base. The question is whether or not the Bluefish are able to take advantage of that situation. And it all begins now, perhaps with Darryl Jones, as Vasquez roams off of first. The first pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes. 2-0 to score, bottom of the 4th inning. 4 hits for each side. The 2-0, fastball up. Or rather, the first pitch was up. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Darryl Jones has a strikeout today. And he's 0 for 1 in the contest as the left-hander leans his arm forward. The 2-0. Fastball upstairs. 3 balls and no strikes. Jones, and if the next batter is Luis Rodriguez, if 3 outs had not been recorded by that point, Pedro Lopez would get a chance as the next pitch dives low, ball 4. A major problem for pitchers has been their inability to get on base or the runners off the bases. And it's especially, part of it has to do with the mound configuration. And the other part of it has to do with the fact that the Bluefish hitters have been quite patient. Luis Rodriguez moves forward. He has a double on his resume tonight. The first pitch on its way. Swung on and lifted high in the air to left field, but playable. Craig Binnick drifts towards the line and corrals the baseball as Ramon Vasquez bluffs, moving over to third base. It's an F7 on the score sheet to bring up Pedro Lopez. Lopez walked in his only at-bat. He's been quite patient at the plate. Have yet to see him hit the baseball with authority to this point, although he's not had too many opportunities to do so. Not too many official at-bats for Lopez, just 4 of them as the first pitch ducks inside on the corner. No balls and 1 strike. 1 man out, 2-0 the score. On 4 base hits, the 2-run inside the park are the big difference. The 0-1 drifts outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bridgeport has runners at first and second. Infielders playing slightly back. Outfielders drifted slightly towards right center with Lou Ford. The 1-1 swung on and slapped foul to the right. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Plenty of action tonight in the Atlantic League, which included the morning game between Camden and York. York took down the Camden Riversharks 4-3. The Revolution have struggled early on with their offense. Many of the teams have. Somerset and Lancaster from Pennsylvania might be in the middle of a rain delay. They were expecting some downpours today. Sugar Land and Southern Maryland also appears to have not started the game. We'll find out in just a moment. The 1-2 is spoiled foul down the right side. A ball and 2 strikes. And those games have started. Lancaster leads Somerset 4-0, top of the 5th. And the Blue Crabs holding on to a 2-1 lead against the Skeeters in the bottom of the 4th. Those are your games on the docket in the Atlantic League today. And we provided you with the trivia question earlier in the frame. 1-2 on its way from the southpaw. Left-hander peers in for the sign, and that's a called strike 3. Used a changeup to fool Pedro Lopez. He's down staring. He could not believe it, and he jutted his knees out of the way to try to sell the call. But he could not sell the goods as Eddie Rogers stepped forward. Eddie Rogers with 2 men out and runners at first and second. The Bluefish have been unable to drive in the runs today that they've needed. First pitch, check swing, cleared the zone, call strike. No balls and 1 strike. We do apologize for any technical difficulties that there might have been. No balls and 1 strike. 2 men out. The 0-1 trickles low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Eddie Rogers. If he reaches, it's Joey Gathright once more. Bluefish have had some problems with runners in scoring position. They left the bases loaded in the second, which accounts for their only major run-scoring threat. Meyer sets at the shoulder top. The 1-1. Fastball just moves inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two men out as Bridgeport is on the doorstep scoring. 2-1 swung on in line to the left field. It is a base hit. Rounding third and coming to the plate, Vasquez. There is no throw. It is cut off. The designated hitter scores from second. The Bluefish are on the board. It is a 2-1 ball game with Darryl Jones stopping at second base. Eddie Rogers connected to left center field. The Bluefish have had their difficulties driving the ball out of the yard, and they finally were able to get one to the outfield without it landing in the Ducks' glove. Their defense has been like a glove, smothering the ball. 2 men out. Joey Gathright moves in. He is 0 for 2 today. He's grounded out 3 unassisted on a bunt attempt and lined out to center as he steps out of the box for a moment to take his time and to make sure Meyer is not rushing him. Tying run is at second base as Darryl Jones leads far off of that. 2-out toss, well high. Count at 1 ball and no strikes. The Bluefish have 5 hits, but they have also produced 3 walks against Meyer. It's a very difficult thing to do, to draw the walks. Then to come up with the big hits. The 1-0 fired on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. One the count. 2 men out. Pitch is on its way from the left-hander before he stepped off the rubber to take his time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch outside. Did he go? And there, believe, was a challenge, and the answer is yes, he did go. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The third base umpire, Matt Hensel, was the one who was asked for the challenge as Chase Edmondson directed his attention that way. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch. Swung on and chopped high in the air on the ground at first. Could be a tough play for Singh. He throws it to first, and the pitcher, Meyer, could not beat Gathright to the bag. An infield single for Joey Gathright to set up the bases loaded, and 2 men out for Kennard Jones. Kennard Jones has been the most effective Bluefish hitter this season. He is 2 for 2 in the contest today. We would like to apologize for anyone who has had some difficulty tuning into the broadcast today, as Bridgeport is hoping to push across more runs. We thank you for tuning in to SOG Sniper 9903 as he continues to tune into the broadcast. The 2-out toss is on its way from the lefty Meyer over to the left-handed hitting Kennard Jones. Pitch swung on and grounded to the right side. Slow roller. The throw over to first just beats Jones to the bag for the final out of the inning. Ray Navarrete to Brandon Singh, 4-3. The bases are left loaded for the second time in the game as a run scores on an RBI from Eddie Rogers to left center. At the end of 4 innings, 2-1 Bluefish trail. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the passion.
Baseball is different in a lot of ways, where the history of the sport means so much. And it's something we should never forget, and I think the Hall of Fame has a way of reminding us.
Anytime that I've visited, I'm like a little kid.
You people at the Hall of Fame have done a great job of preserving the history of the game.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the passion. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you flip through the real yellow pages for a plumber, you're actually looking to reclaim your home from a renegade faucet. It's not just getting directions to a tailor with YP.com. It's looking your best for an interview. And it's more than finding a mechanic with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting your road trip back on track. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the real yellow pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T.
Shark tooth, screwdriver, skeleton key, golf tee from the golf trip that you never went golfing on, grill fork, tuning fork, fork, the lucky fishing lure you snagged Alan with. Sorry, Alan. Drumsticks, chopsticks from the place you met that Dallas-based flight attendant. A motel key. Let's not talk about the motel key. A spark plug, a domino, a house key. How do these things make Miller Lite from a can even better? Find out May 2012. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, scrumptious salmon Florentine, savory twin grilled pork chops. Getting hungry? Your table awaits at the Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting, Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience at reasonable prices. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Take I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Plenty of free, secure parking.
The Gear Shop at the ballpark at Harbor Yard is your one-stop shop for everything Bluefish. Take a break from the action and check out all your Bluefish souvenir favorites. From men's and women's t-shirts and a wide selection of home, road, and other trendy hats, to Fear the Fin rally towels, team photos, and commemorative baseballs. The Gear Shop has it all. Don't forget about our kids' wear section, game-worn jerseys, even your own stuffed BB the Bluefish, and more. The Bluefish Gear Shop is located on the third base side of the concourse level at the ballpark at Harbor Yard and is open on game days. Come and browse all your favorite Bluefish apparel from an hour before the first pitch until the final out is made. Can't make it to the ballpark on game day but still want to support Fairfield County's only professional baseball team? Then check out the new Bluefish online store at bridgeportbluefish.com or call 203-345-4800 to schedule an appointment. The Bluefish Gear Shop. Perfect gifts for all ages and all sizes. Located at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, 500 Main Street, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Miller Lite wants you to win the greatest weekend that never happened. The ultimate Vegas weekend for you and a buddy. Just collect Miller Lite taste points for your chance to win one of 100 Vegas trips being given away this summer for the big weekend. So grab Miller Lite and seize the summer at tastepoints.com. It's that easy, and it never happened. It's Miller time. No purchase necessary. Open to legal U.S. residents 21 or older. Void in California and where prohibited. Sweepstakes begins 5/1/12 and ends 8/1/12. For details, how to enter, and complete official rules, go to tastepoints.com. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller time. Don't check your wrist or follow up with your supervisor.
We welcome you back to the Bluefish broadcast. Perry Miles here as the Bluefish have 2 outs in the inning. The first pitch lands over the inside corner. The count, no balls and 1 strike. 2 men out. The Bluefish scored a run in the bottom half of the 4th inning and have recorded 2 quick outs from James McOwen and Josh Johnson. The next offering is over the outside corner. The count, no balls and 2 strikes. 2-1 the count as the right-hander deals and the pitch is swung on and fouled off. Toby Stoner worked a very quick 3rd and 4th inning. He's hoping for another scoreless frame in the 5th after giving up that inside the Parker. Just 4 hits surrendered by Toby Stoner and 1 since the 2nd inning. The 0-2, fastball runs high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. We do apologize for the technical difficulties. Everything should be straightened out from the Bluefish end, and we thank everyone for tuning in to the Bluefish broadcast today. The 1-2 on its way, from the right-hander, but first a timeout is called as Dan Lyons steps out of the box. He's 0 for 1 today. Luis Lopez over at third base, close to hugging the third base line. The 1-2, curveball just off the corner. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Beautiful night at the ballpark. As it's a little bit chilly, the 2-2 is swung on and foul tipped into the glove for strike 3. A quick inning for Toby Stoner and the Fish at the end of 4.5. It is 2-1. Long Island on top. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, scrumptious salmon Florentine, savory twin grilled pork chops. Getting hungry? Your table awaits at the Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting. Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience at reasonable prices. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Take I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Plenty of free, secure parking.
The Gear Shop at the ballpark at Harbor Yard is your one-stop shop for everything Bluefish. Take a break from the action and check out all your Bluefish souvenir favorites. From men's and women's t-shirts and a wide selection of home, road, and other trendy hats, to Fear the Fin rally towels, team photos, and commemorative baseballs. The Gear Shop has it all. Don't forget about our kids' wear section, game-worn jerseys, even your own stuffed BB the Bluefish, and more. The Bluefish Gear Shop is located on the third base side of the concourse level at the ballpark at Harbor Yard and is open on game days. Come and browse all your favorite Bluefish apparel from an hour before the first pitch until the final out is made. Can't make it to the ballpark on game day but still want to support Fairfield County's only professional baseball team? Then check out the new Bluefish online store at bridgeportbluefish.com or call 203-345-4800 to schedule an appointment. The Bluefish Gear Shop. Perfect gifts for all ages and all sizes. Located at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, 500 Main Street, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Miller Lite wants you to win the greatest weekend that never happened. The ultimate Vegas weekend for you and a buddy. Just collect Miller Lite taste points for your chance to win one of 100 Vegas trips being given away this summer for the big weekend. So grab Miller Lite and seize the summer at tastepoints.com. It's that easy, and it never happened. It's Miller time. No purchase necessary. Open to legal U.S. residents 21 or older. Void in California and where prohibited. Sweepstakes begins 5/1/12 and ends 8/1/12. For details, how to enter, and complete official rules, go to tastepoints.com. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Hi everyone out there, this is Matt Pike, and you are listening to Perry Miles on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
We welcome you back to the Bluefish Broadcast. Perry Miles here as the bottom of the 5th inning begins with Prentice Redmond, Luis Lopez, and Ramon Vasquez. 3, 4, and 5. We did mention the trivia question beforehand. We will bring up the trivia question answer afterwards as the first pitch is on its way. Which former Bridgeport Bluefish player made it to the big leagues and now plays overseas? The first pitch is outside, 1 ball and no strikes, and that happened within the last 4 years. What happened? Which baseball player in the last 4 years went from Bridgeport to the majors to overseas? 1 ball and no strikes, nobody out. Left-hander Dan Meyer plants a pitch over the middle of the plate. The count at 1 ball and 1 strike. We'd like to thank everybody for tuning in as the 1-1 dances low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Nobody out. 2-1 ball game in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch swung on and popped up left side of the infield, trying to track it down to third baseman Bryant Nelson, and he makes the catch in foul ground for the first out. Prentice Redmond now 0 for 3 in the contest on the PF 5. This brings Luis Lopez to the dish.
Third baseman number 19, Luis Lopez.
With 1 man out, Luis Lopez steps up. He's 0 for 2 today. As the first pitch is on its way from the left-hander. Swung on and yanked foul down the left field line. Count at no balls and 1 strike. Lopez 0 for 2, grounded out to short and struck out. Ramon Vasquez would be the final one. The next pitch dances low. The count 1 ball and 1 strike. Two runs on 4 base hits, 1 run on 6 base hits. No errors for each side. As Luis Lopez digs in, the 1-1 from Meyer. Off-speed delivery over the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes. +2,000 hits in Lopez's career. It's expected that he'll have 2,100 by the time his May or even June hits. He's been that solid a hitter as the 1-2 slides low on a heater. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ramon Vasquez waits on deck. Darryl Jones would step up if anyone else were to get on base without a double play. 2-2 swung on line, base hit to center field. With 1 man out in the bottom of the 5th, Ramon Vasquez moves forward.
Designated hitter number 3, Ramon Vasquez.
L3 on his score sheet and a single with a run score. That single coming to left field. The Bluefish were able to creep closer against Long Island. It's been a rather difficult time for Bridgeport hitters to get in much of a groove. They have been walking, just not quite hitting with runners in scoring positions. The first pitch, fastball high. 1 ball and no strikes. Open stance for Vasquez, a former big leaguer. As the next offering 1-0 is a check swing foul to the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Vasquez joined the team a few days in. And since that point, he has played almost every day. Veteran experience at the plate. The 1-1 sent outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bluefish hoping for a rally. They're down by a run. The 2-1 is a fastball away. 3 balls and 1 strike. Bridgeport and Long Island have been involved with the Ferry Cup for quite a while. Although the two teams have been in existence almost as long as each other. In their franchise history, the Bluefish dating back to 1998. 1 championship for each of these teams in the Atlantic League. But none over the last 5-10 years. Pitch is grounded, base hit into right field by Ramon Vasquez as both runners move up a base. Long Island won in the mid-2000s. So it's been between 5 and 10 years since the last time that they won a championship. The Bluefish have not won since Willie Upshaw's first time as Bluefish manager back in 1999. The manager of the Ducks, Kevin Baez, makes a stroll of the mound as he discusses with Meyer about the current scenario, what situation might be brought up with 1 man out. Darryl Jones, who has not hit breaking pitches very well in Bridgeport. Sure, that is what Steve Foucault or perhaps Kevin Baez might be telling Foucault as the tandem go away from the mound. 1 man out in the bottom of the 5th. And the pitch is on its way, coming from Meyer. The 1-out toss is upstairs. The count 1 ball and no strikes. Next offering sinks low. And the count, 2 balls and no strikes. It has been that kind of day for the Bluefish. Just have a couple of runners on. It was imperative for them to score, and they've just been unable to really get that job done.
Batting catcher number 9, Luis Rodriguez.
I tried setting up streaming something that I was taking before, and for whatever reason it wasn't streaming the game, so it was backed up like crazy, and so I had to restart everything, make a new event, and then I changed it. I think I may have changed the URL as well on the website to be able to get the connection for whatever reason it didn't work. It might be the YouTube page. It said it was streaming, yeah. Yeah, it said it was streaming. I played the stream just to test it out, and it was working. I honestly don't know. I go to a live event, right? There are 2 people watching now, but it's game 1 of the... This is crazy. I'm getting game live. As soon as I click on the Bluefish page, and crazy. And Luis Rodriguez is out, the whole thing. I don't get it.
58 out. Skip Chrysler Jeep. Come experience for yourself the way car buying should be. Throughout Fairfield County, for all your landscape needs, call 261 YARD.
We welcome you back as the first pitch was a ground ball for the Long Island Ducks to the second baseman, Pedro Lopez, who threw him out, one away, as Craig Binnick was the last player.
Third baseman number 21.
Up at that point.
Nelson.
We have had some issues, and it appears as if we have resolved some of those issues today. As the next batter stepping up to the plate is none other than Brian Nelson, left-handed hitter. As the next pitch is none other than Brian Nelson. 1-0 the count. One man out. We are in the sixth inning as Brian Nelson pulls one to right field. It is a base hit. A single by Nelson as the ball is delivered in. 2 for 3 for the third baseman of the ball club. And it brings up Brandon Singh.
Now batting first baseman number 23.
We've had some difficulties today trying to pull up the broadcast to see if there were any issues, and apparently there are no more issues as it has been fixed. So we do thank you for being patient today. Brandon Singh moves in on an inside the park home run in the first inning, and a pop fly to first in that third frame as the pitch bends over the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Brandon Singh, third at bat today. Lopez angled towards the third base line. Everyone else playing somewhat up the middle. The 0-1 is a fastball rising. 1 ball and 1 strike. The second baseman, Pedro Lopez, was angled towards second, and the base runner at first being held on by Darryl Jones, who occupies first base. Left to right in the outfield. Pretty conventional for a right-handed hitter with center fielder Joey Gathright directed towards left center. The 1-1, twist outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. 8 hits for the Fish. They've continued to leave base runners on. Boy, it has been a problem in this series. The 2-1, fastball, buckled the knee for a moment. Appeared to have a little bit of extra life. The count 3 balls and 1 strike. Toby Stoner had done a fabulous job for the Bluefish, with the exception being the home run, as the next offering sent low for ball 4. Runners at first and second with 1 man out. And it sends up Ryan Garko to the plate. Bluefish have had their chances to hit the baseball well, just have not converted tonight. But the score 2-1. Bridgeport pitching needs to keep it at that score, otherwise they'll be in trouble, especially with the way that they've been hitting with runners in scoring position. As Stoner fires it over the middle, no balls and 1 strike. 5 hits and 2 runs so far for Stoner on his resume, a walk and 4 strikeouts. Meyer, 5 innings, 8 hits, a run, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. It might be the end of the day for Meyer as the 0-1 splits low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Willie Upshaw said that really there was no pitch count limit for Toby Stoner. Depends on the rhythm of the game. Right now the rhythm says he should be in as the pitch is a ground ball squibber to short. Rogers scoops the second one, onto first, double play! The Bluefish turn another one as they are out of the jam. 2 base runners were originally on base. 1 runner is left on after the double play. At the end of 5.5, Bridgeport trailing 2-1. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
PC Richard & Son.
The Gear Shop at the ballpark at Harbor Yard is your one-stop shop for everything Bluefish. Take a break from the action and check out all your Bluefish souvenir favorites. From men's and women's t-shirts and a wide selection of home, road, and other trendy hats, to Fear the Fin rally towels, team photos, and commemorative baseballs. The Gear Shop has it all. Don't forget about our kids' wear section, game-worn jerseys, even your own stuffed BB the Bluefish, and more. The Bluefish Gear Shop is located on the third base side of the concourse level at the ballpark at Harbor Yard and is open on game days. Come and browse all your favorite Bluefish apparel from an hour before the first pitch until the final out is made. Can't make it to the ballpark on game day but still want to support Fairfield County's only professional baseball team? Then check out the new Bluefish online store at bridgeportbluefish.com or call 203-345-4800 to schedule an appointment. The Bluefish Gear Shop, perfect gifts for all ages and all sizes. Located at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, 500 Main Street, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Miller Lite wants you to win the greatest weekend that never happened. The ultimate Vegas weekend for you and a buddy. Just collect Miller Lite taste points for your chance to win one of 100 Vegas trips being given away this summer for the big weekend. So grab Miller Lite and seize the summer at tastepoints.com. It's that easy, and it never happened. It's Miller time. No purchase necessary. Open to legal U.S. residents 21 or older. Void in California and where prohibited. Sweepstakes begins 5/1/12 and ends 8/1/12. For details, how to enter, and complete official rules, go to tastepoints.com. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller time.
This is Brett Dowdy. Bridgeport Baseball is coming to you on the air right now.
Bluefish Baseball is back. Bridgeport squad taking on the Long Island Ducks in the second of the 3-game series. And this call to the bullpen presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. Jason Monty is on the hill for Long Island. He relieves Dan Meyer, who once more went 5 innings and surrendered 1 run on 8 hits, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts, 98 pitches for the Southpaw. He had quite a few bits and pieces of trouble during his stretch, but Monty comes in out of Marlborough, New York. He is 27 years old. He just turned 27 in March. And he's been in the Atlantic League throughout. And he, believe it or not, even though he's from Marlborough, he attended Fairfield University way back in the day. The first pitch on its way from the right-hander. Fastball inside. The count 1 ball and no strikes. So he's quite familiar with this venue. Because Fairfield University, Sacred Heart, and University of Bridgeport used this facility for their college games. The 1-0 on its way from Monty. Planted on the outside corner. Called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jason Monty had some solid numbers, resurrecting his career from when he pitched for Summers. As the pitch is poked into right field, it is a base hit, sent on a dribbler as a runner is on first base to bring up Eddie Rogers. Pedro Lopez is on base for the 2nd time today, as Eddie Rogers hopes to reach for the 3rd time.
Shortstop number 24, Eddie Rogers.
Jason Monty last year played in the Atlantic League. It's not been up to affiliate ball in quite some time. Actually, Sacred Heart University, and has been an A-ball with the Auburn Doubledays, which went Long Island last year, 20 games, a 3 ERA, as the throw to first is not in time. Sacred Heart grad, not Fairfield University grad, although there are a few players that are from the Northeast region, and has a career 9-win and 1-loss record in the minor leagues. 13-14 in indie ball as the pitch is bunted up the first base side, fielded by Monty. Throw to first, Navarrete covering, one away. Sacrifice successful from Eddie Rogers on the 1-4 to bring Joey Gathright to the plate. It is the bottom of the 6th inning. We did talk about a trivia question coming up. And that trivia question was, which player from the Bluefish was able to make it to the big leagues and then went overseas to play baseball? And the answer is William Opeña. He started out with the Bluefish last year, made it to the big leagues with a couple of different teams. That was 2010 with the Bluefish and then 2011 to the big leagues before he made his way to Asia to play baseball in the Japanese Central League. 0-1, the count to Joey Gathright after he fouled one off. Bluefish baseball is here. A number of scouts coming from all across the Northeast, Boston, New York, Philadelphia as well. This is the mecca of baseball. The pitch is low. The count 1-1 As far as scouts coming to the ball games, you come to the Northeast, to the minor league ballparks. It's within reasonable driving distance for each of those teams. About an hour away from Yankee Stadium, 2.5 from Boston. And, of course, there are a couple of affiliates around here as well. New Britain up near Hartford. Pitch swung on and missed. A ball and 2 strikes. So many affiliates, so many independent baseball teams here. You have Long Island, Camden, Somerset, Bridgeport, York, Lancaster, Southern Maryland, and Sugarland. And Sugarland close to Houston and Round Rock down in that area. The 1-2 way inside, gets by Josh Johnson, and moving over to third on what appeared to be another wild pitch is Pedro Lopez. Boy, the Bluefish are getting some breaks. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gathright today has singled. He's 1 for 3. Long Island's infield has moved in, while the center fielder Lou Ford has shifted towards left center. The 2-2 swung on slap down the left field line. It is a base hit and rolls towards the corner. Run scores. Gathright on his way to second. He'll make it there as the throw comes into third. It is an RBI double by Joey Gathright. The game is tied at 2. The Bluefish have battled back. 5 innings, 1-run baseball. Meyer was on the winning side of matters. Now he picks up a no decision because the pitcher of record at this point belongs to Jason Monty. There is nobody warming up in the Bluefish bullpen, which means you may see Toby Stoner 1 more inning. Willie Upshaw said earlier today that Isaac Hess would be one of the players used. He was hoping to use him for an inning, along with Jorge Julio, as the next one dances outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Jorge has not pitched since the first game of the regular season. 1 ball and no strikes. Runner at second base can flat out fly. The 1-0 gets off the catcher Johnson as it could not be scooped up in the dirt, and ricocheted to the backstop, allowing Gathright to move to third. Boy, the wild pitches, the walks, and the unconventional hitting of the Bluefish causing Long Island some problems. It's not quite the cleanest baseball, but Bridgeport will take it if they win the game. It is the bottom of the 6th, the 2-0. Swung on and chopped high in the air to the right side of the infield. The pitcher cannot throw out the runner at first base because he had to look over to the runner at third. Everybody's safe with Jason Monty unable to really do much. Jason Monty was playing the ball. The first baseman, Brandon Singh, drifted off the first base bag and could not quite recover. The pitcher, Monty, must be rattled at this point because there was a quick scamper to the mound by manager Kevin Baez. It is ruled as a hit. Kennard Jones has fantastic speed. But the thing that really was interesting is Gathright drew attention because he could have faked darting to home, which is what he did, allowing Kennard Jones to get in there and distract Brandon Singh for a moment so that way he could not get to the bag for the out.
Now batting right fielder number 27, Prentice Redmond.
What could have been an unproductive play sends Kennard Jones over to first, and even though he's been picked off once in this game, maybe getting picked off in this situation to try to convert the runner from third is an option as the first pitch swings to the outside corner. No balls and one strike. Sometimes runners will go halfway between first and second to try to draw the throw and bring the runner home. The 0-1. What appeared to be a slider away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ballpark at Harbor Yard is a chilly night in Bridgeport. As Redmond stands in, the next pitch coiled tightly inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. What appeared to be a changeup or a breaking pitch. 11 hits for the Fish, their first 10-hit ball game of the season. 2-1. Settles low, 3 balls and 1 strike. If Redmond reaches, Luis Lopez is going to get a turn at the plate. And boy, that is not what Monty wants. Guy that can flat out hit the ball anywhere. 3-1. Well outside, ball 4. Lots of control problems for Jason Monty. And as soon as that happened, the Long Island Ducks bullpen begins to loosen with one of the pitchers doing jumping jacks down the left field line. Dan Meyer was forced to throw a plethora of pitches, 98 pitches in his second start of the season. Yet his bullpen has been unable to hold the lead. Bridgeport comes up with a run, and they are threatening for more. The middle of the infield anticipating a potential double play. The 1-out pitch swung on and popped up foul to the Harbor Club area just above the broadcast booth. No balls and 1 strike. 2-2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. No balls and 1 strike with 1 man out. Lopez stands in with an open stance. The right-hander's ready, and the delivery swung, ground right to short. Lyons flips the second one, on to first. Is he on the bag? Yes, he is. He stays on for the double play. Bases were loaded, but Lopez grounds into the 6-4-3 inning ender to retire the side. The Bluefish tie the game, though, on a double from Joey Gathright to left field. At the end of 6, Bridgeport and Long Island are tied at 2. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Miller Lite. We know there's only one thing baseball fans love as much as great Pilsner taste, and that's rooting for the home team. Because home is way better than away. Away is not where the heart is. Bringing away the bacon? Why? Bacon is delicious. Away is where you hang your hat? You should be hung up by your underpanties. So why root for the away team when you can root for the home team? With a great Pilsner taste of Miller Lite. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Hey Bluefish fans, have you heard about the clubhouse? Conveniently located in Fairfield, it has an unparalleled team of baseball and softball instructors offering private instruction, camps, team training, rentals, and best of all, the chance to learn from an all-pro team including Mike Porzio, former MLB pitcher, and the Bluefish's very own Willie Upshaw. Open 7 days a week. Stop in and meet our team or call us 203-292-8700 and visit us at the web, theclubhousect.com, and get the Major League experience.
Baseball legend Henry Aaron reflects on his Hall of Fame legacy.
I think that since I played for the public, they need to share what I did in my life as far as baseball. It's the proudest moment of my life to give everything to the Hall of Fame. I often tell people they need to get and see it. There is no other building in the world like the Hall of Fame in baseball.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the legacy. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Welcome back to Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles here. The game is tied at 2. 1 run scored in the bottom of the 6th inning. And we head to the top of the 7th. The game knotted at 2. 2 runs, 11 hits, to 2 runs and 5 base hits. No errors on the board for either team as the first pitch is on its way from the right-hander Stoner, and it lands low and away. 1 ball and no strikes. There begins some action brewing down the right field line for the Fish, and it might be Isaac Hess. He might be getting his warm-up tosses in before he ultimately enters the game, whether it be in the 8th or potentially in the 9th if the game is still tied. The 1-0 is on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, Jorge Julio is going to get some work today. He's going to be in regardless of the situation. The 1-1 swung on and popped up to the right side. Toby Stoner points high in the air to Darryl Jones. He scampers over and makes the catch in foul ground as Luis Rodriguez converged with the first baseman for the first out of the frame. Ray Navarrete is out. PF 3 on the score sheet. Sets up Lou Ford. Ford, the center fielder, has a single today and grounded into a double play, 6-4-3 in the 4th. Game knotted at 2. A lot of the hits have been belonged to the Bluefish as the next offering is on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. We mentioned the 11 hits, but there have also been quite a few walks today. 4 walks to be exact. As the next one pins on the inside corner, no balls and 2 strikes. Third baseman Lopez close to the line as the 0-2 pitch is lined. 2-2 snagged by Pedro Lopez for the second out of the frame. Lou Ford jogs back to the dugout. He got a good piece of wood on that, but just could not quite get it past the range of the second baseman. It's an L4 to Springs James McGowan to the plate. Many of the offenses have not gotten going for either team. The 2-out toss is low, 1 ball and no strikes. If you take a closer look at the way that the offenses have performed this year, the averages are relatively high for some of the teams. The pitch is sky in the air to the left field. Drifting to that direction is Eddie Rogers, and he makes the play for the final out of the inning. A shortstop scampered over behind Lopez to make the catch, and that ends the frame. A 1-2-3 for the Bluefish at the end of 6.5. 7th inning stretch time. Bridgeport and Long Island are tied at 2. You're watching Bluefish baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network. We'll be right back.
Poem entitled Coors Light Summer. It's a Coors Light summer, hot babes all around. Backyard barbecues are where you'll be found. It gets pretty hot out, but it'll be alright because coolers are filled with ice-cold Coors Light. You step outside, mini skirts galore. Beer garden for the ball game, that's what's in store. It's gonna be a scorcher, but there's hope in sight. Refreshment awaits, Frost Brewed Coors Light. Thank you.
Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
At Miller Lite, we know there's only one thing baseball fans love as much as great Pilsner taste, and that's rooting for the home team. Because home is way better than away. Away is not where the heart is. Bringing away the bacon? Why? Bacon is delicious. Away is where you hang your hat? You should be hung up by your underpanties. So why root for the away team when you can root for the home team? With a great Pilsner taste of Miller Lite. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Hey Bluefish fans, have you heard about the clubhouse? Conveniently located in Fairfield, and has an unparalleled team of baseball and softball instructors offering private instruction, camps, team training, rentals, and best of all, the chance to learn from an all-pro team, including Mike Porzio, former MLB pitcher, and the Bluefish's very own Willie Upshaw. Open 7 days a week. Stop in and meet our team, or call us 203-292-8700 and visit us at the web, theclubhousect.com, and get the Major League experience.
Why do we...
I'm with Darryl Jones. Darryl.
Hi, I'm Joey Gathright. The Bluefish postgame report is coming.
We welcome you back to the Bluefish broadcast. Perry Miles here. The game is tied at 2. Going to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Jason Monty worked 1 inning for the road squad. It appears as if he's in his 2nd inning of work as a right-handed pitcher. I believe it's Isaac. believe, no, Isaac Hess is a left-handed pitcher. So there is a right-hander warming up in the bullpen for the Bluefish. The first pitch is on the outside corner, no balls and 1 strike. Isaac Hess is a lefty. There's a tall righty warming up. It might be Kyle Zaleski. The 0-1. Fastball goes outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll get to the Atlantic League scoreboard in just a moment, followed by the Major League scoreboard, courtesy of ESPN.com, as the pitch is grounded towards the middle. Dan Lyons snags, rips it across in time. Shortstop with a cannon, 1 away. So it winds up being a 6-3 as Ramon Vasquez hit the ball back through the box, but just could not quite hit it hard enough to avoid the Long Island defense. And it brings Darryl Jones to the dish. The scores in the games. The Sugarland Skeeters trail the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs by a score of 3-2 as the pitch swung on and foul tipped. No balls and 1 strike. Bottom of the 7th inning in that one. But at top of the 8th from Lancaster, the Barnstormers all over the Patriots, 4-0. That's in the top of the 8th. The other game today, York edged Camden by a score of 4-3. Let's take a look as well at the rest of the scores from around the big leagues as Jones waits for the 0-1 to come its way. It is cruise control for San Antonio as the pitch is swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. The Spurs lead the Utah Jazz by 38 points early in the 4th quarter. The Pacers lead the Magic by 10 about midway through the quarter as the pitch is swung on and foul tipped into the glove of Josh Johnson for the 2nd out. Strikeout number 2 for Jones today as Luis Rodriguez tries his luck against Jason Monte. The Clippers and Grizzlies at 9:30 Eastern Time. Meanwhile, from Washington, the Rangers and the Capitals are tied at 1. That late in the 2nd period. Phoenix and Nashville are in Nashville later tonight. The pitch right over the middle. No balls and 1 strike. Local scores in baseball, the Yankees having troubles with the Baltimore Orioles. They're down 3-0 in the top of the 7th. Meanwhile, the Red Sox, they continue to have their troubles against Oakland. Lost last night, losing again today as the 0-1 is painted on the outside corner. Rodriguez objects, and he's claiming that the glove was stretched over the outside. Not a great paint job by Johnson, but still got the call. The 0-2. Right in there, strike 3. Rodriguez objects and is pointing down at the plate. He's fortunate that he did not get tossed from the game after objecting to those calls. He's furious as he goes back to the dugout to put on his gear. 2 strikeouts for Monty in the frame. At the end of 7, Bridgeport and Long Island are tied at 2. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Jimmy Rollins talks about the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Just being in the same place that all these great ball players, reside at now, their career. You go find their stats, their jerseys, their helmets, their cleats, and to have something of mine, that is something that anybody that goes to the Hall of Fame can see.
Preserving history, honoring excellence, connecting generations. At the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you search with the real Yellow Pages, you get more than a contractor. You get a whole new curb appeal. It's not just getting directions to a dry cleaner with YP.com. It's rescuing an old favorite from the back of the closet. And it's more than finding a locksmith with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting to sleep in your own bed. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the real Yellow Pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T.
The YP.com website is your local search engine. If you're looking for a good restaurant, it can help you find the right one nearby with ratings and reviews. Or if your car breaks down, you can use the YP app to find the closest repair shop. Or maybe you're just looking for something to do on a Friday night. Well, it has great local coupons for all sorts of things in your area. No matter what, when, or where, if you're looking for something, YP Local Search can help you find it. So go to YP.com or download the app To search local, find local, and save local.
This is Terry McGriff, pitching coach for the Bridgeport Bluefish, and you're listening to Perry Miles on the Bluefish broadcast.
This is Kennard Jones. Bridgeport Baseball is on the air right now.
We welcome you back to the Bluefish broadcast. Perry Miles. The game is tied at 2 apiece as the right-hander Kyle Zaleski makes his way to the mound. This call to the bullpen presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for our community. Kyle's been strong so far this season. In his last outing, did quite a solid job. 2 scoreless as Zaleski, 2.46 ERA in 3 2/3 innings, just 1 earned run allowed. That came in his first outing, the 9-0 loss suffered by the Bluefish on April the 27th. That was the second night of the season on the Friday. And the right-hander features a fastball. He also twists the curveball, will occasionally throw a slider. But he really is a 2-pitch, occasionally 3-pitch pitcher. The 2 strong pitches from Zaleski. Is the first batter in the frame is none other than Josh Johnson. He's followed by Dan Lyons and then Craig Binnick. 8-9-1 in the order. The first pitch is on its way from Zaleski. Fastball outside, 1 ball and no strikes. The Bluefish defense has yet to move back a bit. It is late in the ball game. We're in the top of the 8th. Sometimes defenses will play the no doubles, but with the speed that they have in the outfield, they're able to make up for it with their ability to get to the baseballs. The pitch goes outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Josh Johnson was invited to spring training this year. Former AAA ball player. Calls a good game, has led the pitching staff this year. As the 2-0 is a fastball that connects with the outside corner, 2-1. And Johnson, the best experience that he's ever had, obviously, is AAA, but the one that I'm sure he remembers is the one with the Road Warriors. Gave him an opportunity to be on this Long Island team this year as the 2-1 inside on the corner, 2-2. If he did not call the games quite the way that he did last year and perhaps become an all-star, you may not have seen him on Long Island last year. After all, they lost quite a few players. 2-2 is a check swing that did not go through the zone. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Many players in Mexico and AAA for Long Island. Same goes for Bridgeport. Steve Voss, Brock Peterson. They were in the Mexican League. 2 of their bigger offensive power people. 3-2, swung on and lifted foul to the net. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bankston led the team in home runs. And had the Bluefish made the playoffs, could have easily vied for a shot at the Most Valuable Player award for last season. He was one of the top players considered for that award. Steve Moss, year before that, had very good season. 3-2, swung on grounded off the hand of Zaleski. He tried to barehand it. He recovers and throws to first. It's wild to the first base side and lands in the dugout. It's going to be an infield single and an error on the throw, most likely. We'll have to see whether it is a single or an error on the first time or a 2-base error. It is a hit, and the runner advances to second base on the error. So a runner in scoring position with nobody out. And Dan Lyons stepping up, which means they're anticipating bunt. But Kyle Zaleski, like many pitchers, tries to throw his hand out at the ball. Not a wise choice. I'm sure he knows that now. And because he was unable to really grab the ball after he took a shot to his hand, you would think that he might let the ball go. It was a strike up the middle. He tried to stop it with his hand. Maybe it goes through the box and through the middle for a base hit. Maybe it doesn't, but the one thing that you're taught as a pitcher, obviously to land forward and follow through, put all your weight into the pitch, but to keep your hand, your throwing hand especially, way out of the way of the baseball. Never even think about barehanding it unless it's so soft that you could just easily touch it. Darryl Jones converging in at home plate. The first pitch, fastball inside. as the bunt was shown by Lyons but pulled back just in time. 1 ball and no strikes. Could this error cost the Bluefish a run? We'll find out as the right-hander Zaleski steps off the rubber. Runner in scoring position at second. Wheel play is an option for the Bluefish. Shortstop covers third while Lopez moves in, or the pitcher can come in. The third baseman retreats. 1-0 bunt attempt up the third base side, but it shoots foul as Darryl Jones uses his foot to stop momentum. 1 ball and 1 strike. Darryl Jones crashed the party by going to the right-handed hitter's batter's box and kicking it. We had a long way to get there. But if the Bluefish have any shot of getting the runner out at third base, the best bet is to have Lopez cover the bat rather than on the wheel play with the shortstop and Eddie Rogers coming over there, as Zaleski a bit concerned about the base runner Josh Johnson taking too much of a lead. Getting to third quickly. 1 ball, 1 strike. The outfielders are also far in. The next pitch swung on and lifted high in the air to right field, not deep. Redmond drifting back, squares up, makes the catch. Tagging and trying to move to third is Johnson. The throw on 1 hop is just off the mark at third base. It looked as if Prentice Redmond might be able to get a throw right on line. It may have taken him a little bit longer than necessary. And the bunt was taken off. The bunt sign was taken off. And the long fly works to the success of the Ducks. Now the Bluefish must play in to prevent the run from scoring. And the Ducks have 2 chances of getting that run home. Craig Binnick and Bryant Nelson. Luis Rodriguez calling out the signals as the first pitch is on its way from Zaleski. Stands tall, pins the glove at the belt. The 1-out toss. Fastball over the inside corner, no balls and 1 strike. 11 base hits for the Fish, 6 for the Ducks. Game's knotted at 2. And the Bluefish playing in towards the lip of the infield grass. The 0-1, fisted foul to the right near the Bluefish dugout. No balls and 2 strikes. A Long Island base hit would give the Ducks the lead. A line drive at any of the outfielders would probably give the Ducks the lead as well. Saw Josh Johnson. He is a catcher, but he's more fleet of foot than most. No balls and 2 strikes. Zaleski peers in for the sign and gets it. The 0-2, way inside and hit him. Just could not quite control where the delivery was going, and so with an 0-2 count, Binnick takes his base on an HBP to set up Brian Nelson. A triple for Nelson and a single for the third baseman. Much more successful tonight than he was last night when he went 0 for 5. He's been in these pressure cooker situations as he steps in from the left side. Middle of the infield playing halfway. The corners are in. There's plenty of space on the right side for Nelson until Jones does not hold the base runner on. The 1-out toss. Fastball away, 1 ball and no strikes. Zaleski knows that it is imperative for him to either strike the next batter out, force a pop out, or induce the double play ball. A long fly to the outfield does not get the job done. Brian Nelson had quite a few home runs and quite a few sacrifice flies in his career. Many players have. 1-0 on its way, but first a timeout called as Chase Edmondson emerges from behind home plate. The umpire called for time. 1 ball and no strikes. What has turned out to be a very chilly night at the ballpark. 1-0 on its way. Right-hander stares in and deals. Fastball on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. deep into the night in Bridgeport, Connecticut. 9:16 Eastern Standard Time, 7:05 first pitch. A little more than 2 hours into the game. The 1-1. What appeared to be an off-speed pitch, and then sunk low and actually popped the glove as if it were a fastball. 2-1. Center fielder Joey Gathright angled a little bit towards left center, anticipating opposite field hitting. The 2-1 swung on and chopped into the dirt, foul, as Nelson inflicted pain on himself by hitting the ball right in the ground, and it hit him. 2-2. Brian Nelson, one of the players in this league who's been there for quite some time, played second, short, third. Some of the middle infielders and corner infielders will play first base as well, in spite of the notion that first basemen are supposed to be tall. Catch the baseball that's high as timeout is taken. 6'4", 6'5". When I had an opportunity to talk with Eddie Rogers in winter ball, he even played first base. I joked with him. I was like, isn't that supposed to be for a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", 6'6"? He said, yeah, but as soon as I went there, got comfortable, sometimes it happens. Team needs you to do that. 2-2. On the outside corner, strike three. Nelson in disbelief. He goes back to the dugout with frustration. Now with two away, Zaleski's next task may be to head to the dugout as Willie Upshaw makes his way to the mound against Brandon Singh. See if Upshaw takes the ball from Zaleski or if he keeps his right-hander in for the next batter. As Singh did all the Ducks' damage tonight. A 2-run inside the park homer. A walk and a pop fly to first base. Can Singh be in tune with his team's demands to take the lead? Or will the Bluefish get him out of rhythm? That's to be found out over the next few pitches as Zaleski contemplates with Upshaw. The conversation is through. Contemplates with Upshaw and Rodriguez as to what to throw to Singh. Remember, he did throw a couple of fastballs, did Toby Stoner. And the second one wound up being a line drive to center field that Gathright tried to dive to make the play, went way past him to the right of center, and he wound up scoring on the home run. 2-out pitch on the outside corner, no balls and 1 strike. Important scenario for Zaleski. All of his experience has been in independent baseball, but he was part of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs run in 2010 to the Atlantic League Division Series. The 0-1. Swung on and chopped on the ground to short. Eddie Rogers charges in, bobbles for a moment, but then flips it to second base, where Pedro Lopez is at the bag and retires the sign. The Bluefish are able to strand 2 Long Island Ducks runners in the 8th. Going to the bottom of the 8th. The game is tied at 2. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Shark tooth, screwdriver, skeleton key, golf tee from the golf trip that you never went golfing on, grill fork, tuning fork, fork, the lucky fishing lure you snagged Alan with. Sorry, Alan. Drumsticks, chopsticks from the place you met that Dallas-based flight attendant. A motel key. Let's not talk about the motel key. A spark plug, a domino, a house key. How do these things make Miller Lite from a can even better? Find out May 2012. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, scrumptious salmon Florentine, savory twin grilled pork chops. Getting hungry? Your table awaits at the Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting. Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience at reasonable prices. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Take I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Plenty of free, secure parking.
The Gear Shop at the ballpark at Harbor Yard is your one-stop shop for everything Bluefish. Take a break from the action and check out all your Bluefish souvenir favorites. From men's and women's t-shirts and a wide selection of home, road, and other trendy hats, to Fear the Fin rally towels, team photos, and commemorative baseballs. The Gear Shop has it all. Don't forget about our kids' wear section, game-worn jerseys, even your own stuffed BB the Bluefish, and more. The Bluefish Gear Shop is located on the third base side of the concourse level at the ballpark at Harbor Yard and is open on game days. Come and browse all your favorite Bluefish apparel from an hour before the first pitch until the final out is made. Can't make it to the ballpark on game day but still want to support Fairfield County's only professional baseball team? Then check out the new Bluefish online store at BridgeportBluefish.com or call 203-345-4800 to schedule an appointment. The Bluefish Gear Shop, perfect gifts for all ages and all sizes. Located at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, 500 Main Street, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Pedro Lopez leads off for the Fish in the bottom half of the 8th inning. The game is tied at 2. We did talk about the scores from around Major League Baseball, but we were quickly sidetracked by the fact that Long Island was in the middle of a rally, and the Bluefish rally had ended with the Luis Lopez double play as the first pitch lands outside. The count 1 ball and no strikes. 2-2 the score. 2 runs on 11 base hits as Monty uncorks a breaking pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. The third baseman, Bryant Nelson, is close to hugging the third base line as the 2-0 is taken for a strike as Pedro Lopez did not even bother swinging that. He stepped out of the box right as the pitch was being unleashed. 2 balls and 1 strike. Right intercept, and Monty fires a ball inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. A left-handed reliever in the bullpen could be Randy Kiesler, Gustavo Chacin, or Eric Neeson as the pitch lands in the strike zone on the outside corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Neeson 6 feet, Kiesler 6'3", as the 3-2 is inside, ball 4. Another walk for Pedro Lopez. He's gotten on base 3 times today, 2 walks and a single. When I had an opportunity to talk with him about the time that he got hit in the face in 2007 when he was a member of the Cincinnati Reds, he said he did not rush back. And he did want to play, he did want to compete, but it was scary. And each time, maybe he did get a little bit tentative on the inside pitches, but he had to work on becoming once again sharp as the bunt attempt up the right side. The throw to first is in time. Nice play, scampering off the mound. As it's the first out of the frame. And it appears Jason Monty threw to Ray Navarrete. 1-4 on the putout. Perfect bunt by Eddie Rogers, a second sacrifice in the game to send Pedro Lopez to second. The question is whether Pedro will be able to score on a single by Joey Gathright. Everyone knows that Gathright does not have great power, but he does hit well for contact. The left fielder, Craig Binnick, though, is playing very deep as manager Kevin Baez makes his way to the mound. He knows how important this matchup is. We'll find out who Jason Monty is coming out for as this call to the bullpen presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. When we come back, we'll tell you the left-hander in the contest for the Ducks. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network. The game tied at 2 with 1 man out, a runner on second base when we return.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year, we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community, too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
This is Kyle Zaleski. Thank you for tuning in to Bluefish Broadcast Network in 2012. Here is the Perry Mile.
It is an unprecedented time in Bluefish history. The Bluefish have yet to hit a home run through the first 5 games and 7+ innings. They also have yet to have their starters win. I do not remember a time during my era as a broadcaster from 2010 until now when the Bluefish had the first 6 decisions either come as losses to the starters or as victories for the relievers. If the Bluefish are able to score a run in this inning, they will be on the hook for the relief pitching to win the game. And that would belong to none other than Kyle Zaleski. The 1-out pitch, swung on and slapped foul down the left field line, no balls and 1 strike. It's not uncommon these days for minor league teams and major league teams to have their bullpens have most of the decisions because of how prominent some of the starting pitchers have become. The 0-1 on its way from the southpaw, swung on and slapped foul to the netting, no balls and 2 strikes. But with Eric Neeson on the mound, he was designed to get Joey Gathright out and then move forward to Kennard Jones. Double lefty. That's what he's there for. But Jones is showing patience, and Gathright, well, he's had hits in each of his last 2 at-bats. The 0-2 swung on. He stays alive as he nubbed it to the left. No balls, 2 strikes. Eric Neeson has reached Double-A baseball in his career with the New York Mets organization in Binghamton, a product of Wake Forest University, the ACC. Left-hander stares in. 0-2 on its way. Gathright stands in pitch. Winds outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The left-hander, Neeson, 7.71 ERA, 2 1/3 innings, 2 earned runs to this point. 1-2. Johnson sets up away. 1-2 is also outside. 2-2. This Bluefish team seems to be a little different in working the counts this year compared with what they did last year. Gathright is one of them. The 2-2 from Neeson. Swung on, he stays alive again as he roasted it foul down the left. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Deep into the night at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, Bridgeport, Connecticut. The 2-2 from Neeson. Sets, chest, pitch, swung on and chopped towards the middle. The second baseman, Navarrete, has to eat the ball. Had he not gotten there on the backhand, it probably is a base hit with an RBI as opposed to an infield single. Runners set up at the corners for the Bluefish with Kennard Jones stepping up. That curveball from the left-hander hung too far inside, which allowed Gathright to pull his hands inside and use his top to just push it past the pitcher and beyond the second baseman. That is a no-man's land area as Navarrete scampered across. The middle infielders are playing halfway. The corner infielders as expected, are playing in with the first baseman, Brandon Singh, holding the runner at first. The one-out toss is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. And this would be perhaps an ideal situation for Gathright to steal, even though Kennard Jones is your best hitter. You may take the bat out of his hands. The 1-0. Fastball low, 2 balls and no strikes. Gathright stolen base threat. If he draws some attention, it could force Pedro Lopez to the plate. That play happened a few times last year against Bridgeport, which led to losses. Johnson gets it outside, and the pitch swung on and missed. Jones, fooled by what appeared to be a change. 2-1. The hitters are not expecting fastball. Eyes light up, but the results don't. 2-1. Swung on and missed. Another lunge by Jones. He tried to pull it. And whiffed. 2-2. 2-2. Bottom of the 8th. Runners at the corners. Critical scenario for Long Island and Bridgeport. Neeson stares in. Sets. Deals. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. The lefty-lefty matchup bothered Kennard Jones in a sense because the curveball was tantalizing to the eye, but went the same direction 3 times. The third pitch was further outside than the first 2, which forced Kennard Jones to strike out. But there is more matching up for Kevin Baez. This call to the bullpen presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. As Neeson's day is over, 3rd of an inning, and 1 hit. Joey Gathright is his responsibility at first base. With 2 men out, we'll find out who's coming in right after this on BridgeportBluefish.com.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year, we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community, too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
At Miller Lite, we believe if you're not choosing a light beer with more taste, you need to man up, not man down. Because up is way better than down. You don't tell someone sad to cheer down. What's down, dog? A steamy pile and you just stepped in it. Your girlfriend's not wearing a push-down bra? It's called gravity, Isaac Nitwit. Can I be down front with you?
Bluefish baseball is back on the air as Bridgeport has Prentice Redmond coming in to the batter's box. The new pitcher is number 29, Jeremy Hill. He's hoping to get back to the way that he was pitching before last night. He did not locate his pitches very well. The first pitch from Hill, fastball over the middle of the plate, no balls and 1 strike. Jeremy Hill just did not locate pitches last night. Gave up 4 earned runs in a third of an inning. His ERA ballooned to 27 on the season. The 0-1 swung on and line foul to the right. No balls and 2 strikes. Righty-righty matchup. And you wonder which member of the Bluefish could come up big. Or perhaps will Long Island extend the contest to the 9th inning with the game tied. The 0-2 from the right-hander. Johnson sets up outside pitch. Fastball up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There is no action down the line and left for the Ducks. So even if Prentice Redmond were to reach base, it appears that the right-hander will face Luis Lopez. The 1-2. Swung on and driven to deep left field. If it's fair, it's gone, but it's foul. Well, foul. Down the left field line over the picnic area. Redmond pulled his hands inside the baseball and was able to drive it down the line, but it was well foul. Had the distance, just not the direction. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That would have been the first home run of the year. The 1-2. Swung on and sent high in the air. Shallow left center field. Can of corn for Lou Ford, and he makes the catch from center to left center for the final out of the inning. The Bluefish had runners at the corners with 1 man out, but were unable to push anyone across. At the end of 8, the game is knotted at 2. You're watching Bluefish baseball on BridgeportBluefish.com.
The Gear Shop at the ballpark at Harbor Yard is your one-stop shop for everything Bluefish. Take a break from the action and check out all your Bluefish souvenir favorites. From men's and women's t-shirts and a wide selection of home, road, and other trendy hats, to Fear the Fin rally towels, team photos, and commemorative baseballs. The Gear Shop has it all. Don't forget about our kids' wear section, game-worn jerseys, even your own stuffed BB the Bluefish, and more. The Bluefish Gear Shop is located on the third base side of the concourse level at the ballpark at Harbor Yard and is open on game days. Come and browse all your favorite Bluefish apparel from an hour before the first pitch until the final out is made. Can't make it to the ballpark on game day but still want to support Fairfield County's only professional baseball team? Then check out the new Bluefish online store at BridgeportBluefish.com or call 203-345-4800 to schedule an appointment. The Bluefish Gear Shop, perfect gifts for all ages and all sizes. Located at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, 500 Main Street, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Jimmy Rollins talks about the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Just being in the same place that all these great ball players, reside at now, their career. You go find their stats, their jerseys, their helmets, their cleats, and to have something of mine, that is something that anybody that goes to the Hall of Fame can see.
Preserving history, honoring excellence, connecting generations. At the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you search with the real Yellow Pages, you get more than a contractor. You get a whole new curb appeal. It's not just getting directions to a dry cleaner with YP.com. It's rescuing an old favorite from the back of the closet. And it's more than finding a locksmith with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting to sleep in your own bed. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the real Yellow Pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T.
Kyle Zaleski started off the inning slowly in the 8th, but was able to recover to retire the side without giving up a run. And now it's time for Ryan Garko to step up to the plate for Long Island. The first pitch from Zaleski stays high, 1 ball and no strikes. Bridgeport has yet to play an extra inning contest this season, as the 1-0 is on its way. Fastball in the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. There is a little bit of twisting and turning down the left field line for Long Island. Not much of it from Bridgeport's side. Zaleski stares in. Toby Stoner with a solid start today. The 1-1 appeared to be a slider outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. 7 innings for Stoner. 5 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts, 86 pitches. Methodical way of him just dealing after the first couple of frames. The 2-1 swung on and missed. High cheese. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Bluefish have doubled the Ducks' hit total tonight, but not many of those hits have come into runners in scoring position, boy. And the number of runners left on could be the reason why the Bluefish might go down tonight. The next pitch is outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. They left a runner on the first, 3 more in the second, another in the third, bases loaded in the fourth. Boy, the list goes on and on. It's at least in the double figures category. More than 10. 3-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. High fastball to Garco. He must take a seat on the bench. And it is second strikeout for Kozaleski. He throws about 91 miles an hour on the gun.
Baseman number 16, Ray Navarrete.
Out of Mundelein, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. Right-hander stares in once more. The pitcher deals, and it's right on the corner. No balls and 1 strike. The direction that the ball takes from his hand is a little different than many of the other Bluefish pitchers. The 0-1, scooped up by Rodriguez, 1 ball and 1 strike. He looks like he's coming from over the top, and then he slings it to where it juts quickly across the outside corner, straightens out. Almost like the way that Jeff Nelson used to pitch, except he threw from a 3/4 angle. 1-1, swung on and popped up. Right side, Darryl Jones racing back, but he's called up by Prentice Redmond, who snatches for out number 2. It is an F9 on the score sheet. And it brings up Lou Ford. Center fielder, 1 for 3.
Lou Ford.
Base hit in the second. Double play ball, 6-4-3. And lined out to Pedro Lopez on a ball just above the dirt. 2 men out, the right-hander deals. Pitch swung on and foul tipped. It appeared to shake up Rodriguez a little bit. Machete has been in professional baseball since 1991. He is in phenomenal shape, and he prepares himself not necessarily with throwing base runners out at second. He does not do too much work during the off-season throwing base runners out at second. What he does is he does the manual labor, for example, carrying chairs, desks, whatever he can, and everything else comes natural as the pitch is grounded towards the middle and a base hit to right center. Joey Gathright throws the ball into the second baseman, Pedro Lopez, in line with the bag. 2 men out and a runner on for James McOwen. And by going through those types of workouts during the off season, not necessarily lifting weights, but doing it for his job and all the hobbies and staying busy, he's been able to develop one of the strongest arms in the league and probably the best signal caller that the Atlantic League has. The first pitch lines up with the inside corner, no balls and 1 strike. So few comparisons between the longtime AAA ball player, longtime in Bridgeport Bluefish player, and several others that have made it to the big leagues. The 0-1. Fastball up. Snagged at a moment's notice by Rodriguez. 1 ball and 1 strike. McOwen yet to pick up a hit tonight. He's 0 for 3. As a left-handed hitter waits for the right-hander to get ready. Pitch swung on and driven foul left field. Out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ever since Zaleski got to Bridgeport, the one thing that really has impressed Willie Upshaw is his ability to just throw strikes come at you. He does not mess around with any pitches, and he's able to throw strikes and locate them very well. Well, 1-2. Zaleski agrees to Rodriguez's call, and he deals. Swung on and served out to left field, but Kennard Jones sprints in and makes the play for the final out of the inning. The left fielder drifted forward as he goes to the dugout, hoping to get a chance to hit in the 9th inning. The Bluefish and Ducks are tied at 2 heading to the bottom of the 9th. Stay tuned. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
The Gear Shop at the ballpark at Harbor Yard is your one-stop shop for everything Bluefish. Take a break from the action and check out all your Bluefish souvenir favorites. From men's and women's t-shirts and a wide selection of home, road, and other trendy hats, to Fear the Fin rally towels, team photos, and commemorative baseballs. The Gear Shop has it all. Don't forget about our kids' wear section, game-worn jerseys, even your own stuffed BB the Bluefish, and more. The Bluefish Gear Shop is located on the third base side of the concourse level at the ballpark at Harbor Yard and is open on game days. Come and browse all your favorite Bluefish apparel from an hour before the first pitch until the final out is made. Can't make it to the ballpark on game day but still want to support Fairfield County's only professional baseball team? Then check out the new Bluefish online store at bridgeportbluefish.com or call 203-345-4800 to schedule an appointment. The Bluefish Gear Shop, perfect gifts for all ages and all sizes. Located at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, 500 Main Street, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Miller Lite wants you to win the greatest weekend that never happened. The ultimate Vegas weekend for you and a buddy. Just collect Miller Lite taste points for your chance to win one of 100 Vegas trips being given away this summer for the big weekend. So grab Miller Lite and seize the summer at tastepoints.com. It's that easy. And it never happened. It's Miller time. No purchase necessary. Open to legal U.S. residents 21 or older. Void in California and where prohibited. Sweepstakes begins 5/1/12 and ends 8/1/12. For details, how to enter, and complete official rules, go to tastepoints.com. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Gotta get dip. Gotta get dip. Gotta get dip. Gotta get dip.
Bluefish baseball is back in the bottom of the ninth inning. Luis Lopez leads off the frame. Lopez, Ramon Vasquez, Darrell Jones due up. Bridgeport and Long Island tied at 2. With the third baseman Bryant Nelson hanging towards the third base line. The first pitch, a strike over the middle. No balls and 1 strike. Lopez tonight, a single in the 5th inning. And a double play ball in his last 2 at-bats. He's 1 for 4 today. The 0-1 from the right-hander. Sails down, pitch on its way, grounded softly foul, and takes a big hop towards the seats. No balls and 2 strikes. After tonight, Bridgeport and Long Island have one more game. Long Island will head back to their home ballpark, Bethpage, in Central Islip, New York. As the 0-2, fastball outside to Lopez, 1 ball and 2 strikes. They'll take on Camden and York. Their 3-game series apiece. Bridgeport will be on their longest road stretch of the season, starting with York this coming weekend. The 1-2. Swung on a high chopper sent towards the middle. Lyon snags as he crossed the second base bag and delivers a strike to first, 1 away. Luis Lopez, 6-3. He's now 1 for 5 on the night. And springs Ramon Vasquez to the plate. Quite an entertaining ball game to this point. So many base runners left on for the Bluefish. Early on, Long Island, it seemed like they were going to get off to a hot start. They had 1 or 2 chances later than the first inning, but were unable to convert. The Bluefish, if they wind up falling, they'll blame it on the number of runners left in scoring position and the runners left on base. Boy, it's a lot. 1-out toss, swung on and sent foul left field. No balls and 1 strike. Vasquez 2 for 4 today. A pair of singles sandwiched by a line drive to first and a ground ball to short. 0-1 to Vasquez. Fastball just tucked low. 1 ball and 1 strike. It is a chilly night at the ballpark for Bark in the Park night tonight. The 1-1 is swung on and stroked down the left field line. It's veering towards the corner, but it goes right near where I believe the hot tub is located, down the left field line. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 7 hits for the Ducks and 12 for the Bluefish, going deep into the night. Pitch black skies out there as the 1-2 slides away again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Bluefish and Ducks have had some very competitive Ferry Cup series. Last year was not really one of them, as Long Island claimed 12 of the 18 contests. The next offering is outside and high, 3 balls and 2 strikes. This does not look quite like the same team that clocked most of the Atlantic League last year. Bridgeport looks a little bit different as well. The 3-2 is a sharp grounder to second. 2 hops Navarrete corrals and throws to first for the second out of the frame. A 4-3 from Vasquez, and it sends Darrell Jones to the plate. Jones has reached base once. He's walked, struck out twice, and grounded out. Steps up, even stance. Johnson outside, pitch. Slides inside, may have been a hair high. 1 ball and no strikes. Darrell Jones, first baseman, brought over from the San Angelo Colts of the North American Baseball League. At 345 down there. Boy, could he hit. 1-0, down low, 2 balls and no strikes. He felt like that ballpark allowed him to excel because it was hot, it was humid, and especially for right-handed pitchers, it's 325 down the line, about 4 feet tall. The 2-0. Fastball over the outside corner, 2 balls and 1 strike. Lots of players have excelled in San Angelo due to the instruction and guidance of Doc Edwards, former big league manager and longtime baseball mind. The 2-1 to Jones, swung on and served down the right field line, out of play, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Doc Edwards, former baseball player in his own right. Him and the Bluefish general manager, Bob Gaughan, have some shared history together, as Bob was the general manager in Rochester at the same time that he was managing the Rochester Red Wings. The pitch is nubbed over to the right side. The underhand scoop is through as the pitcher is able to escape without any trouble at all. Jeremy Hill with an inning and a third of scoreless relief as he converted the final play of the ninth. Extra innings, here we come. The game is tied at 2. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles will be back right after this.
Shark tooth, screwdriver, skeleton key, golf tee from the golf trip that you never went golfing on, grill fork, tuning fork, fork, the lucky fishing lure you snagged Alan with. Sorry, Alan. Drumsticks, chopsticks from the place you met that Dallas-based flight attendant. A motel key. Let's not talk about the motel key. A spark plug, a domino, a house key. How do these things make Miller Lite from a can even better? Find out May 2012. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, scrumptious salmon Florentine, savory twin grilled pork chops. Getting hungry? Your table awaits at the Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting. Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience at reasonable prices. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Take I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Plenty of free, secure parking.
The Gear Shop at the ballpark at Harbor Yard is your one-stop shop for everything Bluefish. Take a break from the action and check out all your Bluefish souvenir favorites. From men's and women's t-shirts and a wide selection of home, road, and other trendy hats, to Fear the Fin rally towels, team photos, and commemorative baseballs. The Gear Shop has it all. Don't forget about our kids' wear section, game-worn jerseys, even your own stuffed BB the Bluefish, and more. The Bluefish Gear Shop is located on the third base side of the concourse level at the ballpark at Harbor Yard and is open on game days. Come and browse all your favorite Bluefish apparel from an hour before the first pitch until the final out is made. Can't make it to the ballpark on game day but still want to support Fairfield County's only professional baseball team? Then check out the new Bluefish online store at bridgeportbluefish.com or call 203-345-4800 to schedule an appointment. The Bluefish Gear Shop. Perfect gifts for all ages and all sizes. Located at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, 500 Main Street, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Bluefish Baseball is back on the air. This call to the bullpen presented by Prudential Annuities, Prudential Annuities. Going to bat for our community. Kyle Zaleski was strong, 2 innings of shutout baseball, 2 hits and 2 strikeouts on his resume, while Jesse English, the southpaw, makes his way to the mound for a second time this year. English has been sharp to this point as the first pitch is on its way from the left-hander. Fastball right on the inside corner, no balls and 1 strike, as it appeared that Josh Johnson stepped in. The 0-1 from English. Floats maybe a tad low, maybe a tad outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jesse English, 2 innings in that outing, a hit and 2 walks. That was opening night. He picked up the victory, helped stop the bleeding after Gilbert De La Vara struggled. The pitch is socked into left center field. No chance for Kennard Jones or Joey Gathright to get there. They'll have to play it near the wall. Gathright's the one that fields from center to left center, as it's a leadoff double to start off the frame. And it sets up Dan Lyons. Boy, Josh Johnson got a hold of the pitch and drove it to one of the deeper parts of the ballpark. As there's a runner at second base for Dan Lyons, you would assume, it would be safe to assume that Long Island would try to bunt, with action brewing for the Ducks in the bullpen and for the Bluefish. Both of them are right-handed pitchers. As a left-hander, English settles in. The infielders move in the pitch. It appeared to be outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Lyons pulled back the bunt as he took it outside. Darryl Jones continues to crash in on those bunt attempts. He is a solid first baseman in the 1-0. Pulled back, a fastball inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Jones is moving so far in that if the Lions decide to pull back and execute a butcher boy, he could probably lift it over his head, go for a double. There's really not too many people covering down that first base line. And on that play, Pedro Lopez, the second baseman, is supposed to be rotating over there. There's not much room for error. The 2-0. Bunt attempt popped up in the air, foul, left side, 2 balls, 1 strike. That was definitely the best pitch that Lyons has had to try to execute the bunt in this count, or in this at-bat. 2 balls and 1 strike. It appeared to be a breaking pitch. Usually the breaking balls are the ones that batters try to bunt because the ball can flatten out and chop on the ground. 2-1. Swung on it, fouled off, swinging away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Perhaps the new philosophy for Baez is if you don't get down the bunt with a runner at second base and nobody out the first time, then you'll be able to have the green light the second time. The Bluefish unconcerned about whether Lyons going to bunt now, although if he were to get it down at this moment, he would have done a stellar job. Of course, the fear is the strikeout. 2-2, swung on and foul tipped into the glove of Luis Rodriguez for strike 3. As an effective sequence from Jesse English to retire the first batter of the 10th. Josh Johnson was the leadoff guy. He doubled, and Lyons now struck out. So with 1 away, Craig Binnick moves forward. 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch on his resume. 1 out pitch on his way from the left-hander. Lifts his leg and deals. Swung on and skied. Middle of the diamond, close to the second baseman, Pedro Lopez, who leans to his right to make the play for out number 2, a P4. What outstanding pitching by the Bluefish today, and Toby Stoner, and also Kyle Zaleski. Now Jesse English appears to be working his way out of a couple of problems that he's had. Bryant Nelson has been a thorn in the Bluefish side today.
21. Bryant Nelson.
He's hoping to drive home the 3rd Ducks run. Josh Johnson has okay speed. On a single, he probably would score because with 2 outs, the runner is going on contact. Nelson with a triple in the first and a single in the 6th inning as the first pitch lands away. 1 ball and no strikes. It was a heater. Luis Lopez, a little bit off the third base bag, more so for Nelson than he was earlier for other batters as the 1-0 sinks inside. 2 balls and no strikes. There was action brewing in the bullpen. One of the baseballs slipped to near the on-deck hitter. He's taking some cuts, Brandon Sink. 2 balls and no strikes. 8 hits for the Ducks so far. The 2-0. Grounded sharply towards third, snagged by Lopez on the backhand. Takes his time and delivers the first in time. Nice stretch by Darryl Jones to record the out and end the inning. A 5-3 for Nelson as the Bluefish gave up a leadoff double but did not allow Johnson to cross the plate. At the end of 9.5, Bridgeport and Long Island are tied at 2. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Miller Time. Don't check your wrist or follow up with your supervisor, because Miller Time has nothing to do with when and everything to do with who.
What's up, Tommy?
Miller Lite is brewed for the guys you're proud to call your brothers, who'll always talk you out of getting that faux hawk and never talk during your backswing. And when you've got your brothers and the light beer that tastes like a beer should, it's not just a good time, it's Miller Time.
Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Miller Time. It's a rallying cry to the men around you, the ones that have become your brothers. A call to beers answered with,
Order me a Miller Lite, I'll be there in 10.
a night where your crew gets down to the task at hand that may or may not involve running tables, firing up the grill, or getting the band back together. Just a few choice words spoken to the right men who crave a light beer that's never light on taste. Because it's not just a good time, it's Miller Time.
Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hi, everyone out there. This is Matt Pike, and you are listening to Perry Miles on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to Bluefish Baseball here tonight. Bridgeport and Long Island knotted at 2. 2 runs on 12 hits with 1 error. 2 runs on 8 base hits. No mistakes to this point as Long Island opts to go to the bullpen. This call to the bullpen presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. Their closer, Jonathan Malone, 6'3", 225 pounds, out of Shawnee, Kansas, which is a suburb of Kansas City. As he's had Major League Baseball experience, he is 27 years old. He will turn 28 in July as the right-hander continues to throw. He's been involved with the Ducks this year. And Malone, 3 games, 2 saves, 3 innings pitched, and an earned run on his resume as he hopes to avoid the same fate that some of his other pitchers have faced throughout this series. Last game, matter of fact, bullpen fell apart, had one of those days, and today, slightly different. Slightly different. As the Long Island Ducks bullpen has come up strong. So far in this contest, that Ducks bullpen has accounted for 4 innings of 1-run baseball, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So solid outing between Monty Neeson, Jeremy Hill, and now it makes room for Malone, who is expected to pitch by Kevin Baez. Expect Malone to pitch regardless of the situation. That's who we had available. We'll find out whether or not other pitchers would be available as the night progresses, but Malone may go for an inning, maybe 2. Pitch. Fastball. Runs outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Right-handed hitter Luis Rodriguez, followed by the on-base machine Pedro Lopez and Eddie Rogers, who's 1 for 1 tonight, the 1-0. Outside. 2 balls and no strikes. If Rodriguez is to get on base, you might see Pedro Lopez try to bunt After all, he got on base 3 times, and he has the ability to drop one down as well. The 2-0. Swung on it, smacked foul, right field, into the reserved area, close to the Hi-Ho D'Addario kids' coat. 2 balls and 1 strike. So many changes to the way that the players have shifted defensively. 2-1, swung on and missed, 2 balls and 2 strikes. One of them includes the shift by Lou Ford. He went from straightaway center, went down the count to right center, anticipating that Luis Rodriguez hits more often to the right center gap than the left center gap. The 2-2, curveball spun low, outside, blocked by Johnson, 3-2. You have to wonder, with the number of innings that each of these catchers have worked today, and considering that the backups really have not had too much time to play, whether or not the backups will get their opportunity tomorrow. 3-2 is lifted foul. The count remains 3 balls, 2 strike. Of course, Rodriguez, in his 21st season of professional baseball, boy, that is something. Now he's a player coach, and he helps Willie Upshaw, and Upshaw is giving him valuable lessons for one day when Rodriguez could potentially break into the managing business for a baseball team as the pitch is poked into right field. A base hit for Louis. Rodriguez does want to become a manager one day for a baseball team. Same way that Patrick Osborne. Patrick Osborne was the third baseman for those Blue Crabs, and went from third baseman to manager overnight once Butch Hobson moved to Lancaster, Pennsylvania to be with the Barnstormers. Perhaps Rodriguez makes the transition at some point to a different team in the Atlantic League. After all, there is expected to be at least one more team, and if there's one more team, there might be a second one added as well. New team expected in Loudoun County, Virginia for 2013. Although we'll find out exactly when that will be confirmed. And if there's a 9th team, there will most assuredly be a 10th, as the bunt attempt is shown, and it's popped up before Johnson could get there. The ball dropped to the grass. No balls and 1 strike. Johnson raced after it diagonal towards the Bluefish dugout and could not get there. No balls and 1 strike. Lopez with a couple of walks, a single, and a strikeout. It has not been a pretty game offensively for the Bluefish, but they managed to squeak across that second run in the 6th inning to tie the game. That's where we stand in the bottom of the 10th. The 0-1 splits outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And for a game to wind up this way, there had to be great pitching, which there has been for both sides. Toby Stoner, 7 innings, 2 runs, will not come up with a decision. Neither will Kyle Zaleski. Jesse English right now is the pitcher of record, the 1-1. Bunt attempt up the right side. It is a beauty as it lands in the grass. One play for Brandon Singh as he throws to Ray Neverett covering at first. It's a 3-4 sacrifice for Pedro Lopez to advance Luis Rodriguez to second base for Eddie Rogers. An unconventional team at that, but they understand the fundamentals very well. This is a veteran Bluefish team. Not just with Luis Rodriguez, Luis Lopez, Matt Pike, and others having been on the team for quite a while. But defensively, the experience. Brett Dowdy was hurt. The second baseman suffered a hamstring injury. He's day-to-day, but they have Pedro Lopez, who's a longtime veteran in big league baseball, replacing him for injuries. The first pitch is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Over the shortstop position, Eddie Rogers, who's been here before, who's had big league experience and a number of years in the minor leagues. it is an experienced infield with the exception, really, of Darryl Jones, and even he's going into his 8th year of professional baseball. The 1-0. Swung on, broken back grounder, softly struck up the middle. Lyons charges and throws to first in time to retire Rogers. Rodriguez moves over to third, as that represents the winning run. And it brings up Joey Gathright, and the catcher, Josh Johnson, has a conversation with Malone. After all, they do not want to lose the game right now after working this hard. 10 innings deep, 3+ hours in the books. But Joey Gathright with one swing could have a 4-hit game and end it. He's 3 for 5, Gathright is. Even though he may not be thinking of this, gutsy call might be a bunt attempt, which is what perhaps the corner infielders are thinking from Gathright. The 2-out toss. Fastball outside, 1 ball, no strikes. 2 bases open. They could choose to pitch around Gathright to get to Jones, but why would they do that? Pitch around Jones to get to Redmond, who's 0 for 4 with a walk. But Malone is here trying to record the out to Gathright. The 1-0. Swung on and fouled to the netting. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rodriguez has okay speed at third. Average speed at third. As he takes his lead off the bag. A slow chopper up the middle could score the game-winning run if the shortstop or second baseman opted to go to home. The 1-1. Snap the curveball high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Tell from the hand. As Bridgeport and Long Island battling a doozy. The game tied at 2 on the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Malone lifts his leg and fires. Fastball in. 3 balls and 1 strike. Now, obviously, you do not want to lose Gathright if you're Long Island. But Kennard Jones, you don't really want to pitch to him either. So you could choose to pitch around both batters, maybe get to Redmond, who's been a little bit easier to get out today. Him and Lopez have had a little bit of trouble today, combined 1 for 9. 3-1. Fastball just missed inside for ball 4. So after getting a 1-1 count, Gathright draws 3 straight balls to set up Kennard Jones. And boy, Jones has reached base 3 times on 3 singles. Gathright tries to eliminate the force. Long Island probably walks Kennard to set up Prentice to Redmond in the box. That's how much steam Kennard Jones has been hitting with. That bat is on fire. 2 outs. Righty-lefty situation. Johnson establishes outside the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. No balls and 1 strike. Last time up, Kennard struck out. It was a lefty-lefty scenario with Eric Neeson. And Neeson was able to throw a couple of hooks that crossed the outside corner and then went off it, and Jones could not reach. The 0-1. Fastball up tight. 1 ball and 1 strike. One of the highest batting averages in the league belongs to Kennard Jones. 13 for 25 this season. Hit number 14 in all likelihood would end this game. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 men out. Malone stands tall, elbows down, pitch on its way. Right in there for a strike, guided to the corner at the knees. A ball and 2 strikes. 13 hits for the Bluefish and 6 walks. 19 base runners and just 2 runs. Johnson waits outside. Pitch on its way. just off the corner, may have been low, as Jones carefully looked that pitch into the glove of Johnson. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 3-hit days for the Bluefish, Gathright and Jones. Right-hander waits, the 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. We're going to the 11th. After a walk to Joey Gathright, Malone is able to escape without any further trouble. No runs on 1 base hit, 2 are left on. At the end of 10, Bridgeport and Long Island are knotted at 2. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Home entitled Coors Light Summer. It's a Coors Light Summer, hot babes all around. Backyard barbecues are where you'll be found. It gets pretty hot out, but it'll be all right because coolers are filled with ice-cold Coors Light. You step outside, mini skirts galore. Beer garden for the ball game, that's what's in store. It's going to be a scorcher, but there's hope in sight. Refreshment awaits, Frost Brewed Coors Light. Thank you.
Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
At Miller Lite, we know there's only one thing baseball fans love as much as great Pilsner taste, and that's rooting for the home team. Because home is way better than away. Away is not where the heart is. Bringing away to bacon? Why? Bacon is delicious. Away is where you hang your hat? You should be hung up by your underpanties. So why root for the away team when you can root for the home team? With a great Pilsner taste of Miller Lite. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Hey Bluefish fans, have you heard about the clubhouse? Conveniently located in Fairfield, it has an unparalleled team of baseball and softball instructors offering private instruction, camps, team training rentals, and best of all, the chance to learn from an all-pro team including Mike Porzio, former MLB pitcher, and the Bluefish's very own Willie Upshaw. Open 7 days a week. Stop in and meet our team or call us 203-292-8700 and visit us at the web, theclubhousect.com, and get the Major League experience.
Hello, my name's Joe Bateman. You're listening to Perry Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com.
It is the top of the 11th inning. This call to the bullpen, presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities. Going to bat for our community, it is right-hander Dan Stange. As he comes in, a tall right-handed pitcher, about 6'1", 229 of Mesa, Arizona. Has big league experience on his resume. But Stange in his last appearance did not perform very well. Stange, an inning and a run. Of course, it was his first time here, and sometimes right out of the gate, it's just very difficult to get back on track before settling in. The first pitch is low. The count 1 ball and no strikes. Nobody out in the top of the 11th. It is Brandon Singh, Ryan Garko, and Ray Navarrete. Both teams have had chances to push runs across. Bridgeport has left 15 runners on the 1-0 outside, 2 balls and no strikes. And the Ducks, they've left a runner on in each of the last 3 innings. But it's not been quite the same. The Bluefish had runners at the corners. They had runners in scoring position all night. The 2-0. Fastball low from Stange to count 3 balls and no strikes. The interesting part is, Willie Upshaw mentioned before the game that no matter what, Jorge Julio was going to be used. They have yet to go to him as the fastball runs inside for ball 4. So Brandon Singh takes his base with a walk, and it springs Ryan Garko to the plate. No sight of Jorge Julio. There are not too many Long Island bullpen pitchers remaining, although there are quite a few pitchers, starters, available for the Ducks. Bridgeport has just used 2 other relievers and 1 starter. They're stacked. The first pitch is on the inside corner to Garko. No balls and 1 strike. 0 for 4 today, Garko. Bluefish and Ducks tied at 2 in the top of the 11th. Going well into the night, more than 3 hours and 10 minutes. Pitch, fastball low, 1 ball and 1 strike. 5 out of 6 have been out of the zone from Stange. Bluefish have guys like Romy Lewis, who pitched last night, he's still available. Jorge Julio's still available as the pitch is swung on and grounded towards the middle. It is a base hit as the shortstop, Eddie Rogers, could not get there. Runners at first and second with nobody out. And you would think that even though Ray Navarrette's coming to the plate, you might think he would be the one to try to execute the bunt after 2 unsuccessful tries from parts of the bottom of the order. Navarrete today 1 for 4, a walk and a single, and there is action brewing down the right field line. Isaac Hess was supposed to get perhaps an inning today, according to Upshaw. He wanted to get him in. He wanted to get Jorge Julio in. As the next offering is a fastball low and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Joe Bateman is still there. Quite a few pitchers available. Bayless pitched 3 last night. Probably not going to go today. Best bet. 1-0. Swung on and bounced on the ground. Foul. Barehanded scoop. Attempted by the batter in the hole. Believe it or not, I believe his number 19, or he seemed to be the batter in the hole, but Travis Minix. He's supposed to be out of the game, but just hanging out there. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But it is James McOwen, believe it or not. It's not Minix, it's McOwen. Ball and 2 strikes, nobody out. Stange stares in. Waits for the sign from Rodriguez. Pitch. Swung on it. Fouled off. Count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. The Bluefish catcher, backup catcher right now, is Angel Flores. He played for the Lancaster Barnstormers last year. The Long Island backup catcher, Sean Williams, played for Brockton in the Can-Am League last year. You might see the 2 of them participate tomorrow. The 1-2 is sent foul to the right. A ball and 2 strikes. Even if it is not a day game after a night game, when the managers tend to rest their players to try to get the best possible results, rest the knees a little bit, because catching does take a toll physically and mentally on the players. Navarrete staying alive. 1-2, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Navarrete now 1 for 5 in the contest as he goes down swinging on what appeared to be a slider as Lou Ford steps up. Ford has reached base twice.
Center fielder number 20, Lou Ford.
Ford today 2 for 4. 2 runs and 9 hits for the Ducks as Ford takes it outside. 1 ball and no strikes, 2 runs and 13 hits, 1 error for Bridgeport. This is the biggest opportunity for Long Island to be scoring a run. Did not bunt with Navarrete. Did not try to get the runners over to the next base as the 1-0 trickles over the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Not much of a change in wind direction from a couple of hours ago to now. Just a light breeze. Still chilly, though. 1-1. Swung on and smacked foul to the right. 1 ball and 2 strikes. If Lou Ford does not ground it to a double play, James McOwen waits on deck to bat next. If he does, the inning's over. Go to the bottom of the 11th. The 1-2. Way outside, gets back to Rodriguez, fires to third, not in time, although the runner nearly slid past the bag. Brandon Singh nearly slid past the bag. It is a wild pitch that allows both runners to move up, and now, with the count 2 balls, 2 strikes, you wonder if the outfielders might be moving in a bit with the infielders. A pinch runner, Wilberto Ortiz, who we have not seen this series, 5'10", 180 pounds, out of Puerto Rico, makes his way to the second base area, and he takes a huge lead because he's measuring the approximate distance between he and the second base bag compared with the second baseman and the second base bag. The 2-2 is down low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And that's the estimation that he would have to make. Judgment call. Three and two the count. A single will score 2. Critical pitch for Stange. The 3-2. Swung on and skied in the air. Foul down the left field line. Lopez giving it a look. He's leaning near the wall, but it goes about 5 to 10 rows back. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lopez ran after it. But there's only so much foul territory in this ballpark. There is not that much foul territory almost anywhere, except perhaps in Long Island down the lines. There's plenty of that. In Bridgeport, very limited foul ground. Three balls and 2 strikes. The runner at third base is Brandon Singh. Ryan Garco is over at second. Pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Ford irate at the way he could not make contact. And it sends the infielders back. Boy, did the Bluefish dodge a bullet. As it appears there is action brewing in the bullpen. Right-hander as the pitch is swung on and lifted into left center. Kennard Jones moving forward from left and makes the play for the final out of the inning. The Bluefish escape. Runners at second and third with 1 man out as Stange gets the job done. At the end of 10 and a half, the Bluefish and Ducks are tied at 2. You watching Bluefish baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year, we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community, too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
I'm with Daryl Jones. Daryl, what was the most memorable? We welcome you back to the Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles here as the second inning is ready for Mr. Malone. He steps up. John Malone does. He is the closer for the team. He, along with a number of Long Island Ducks pitchers, have performed well tonight. It all started with Dan Meyer. He was probably the most ineffective of the bunch because he gave up 11 base runners in 5 innings. And because the Bluefish worked the counts, they were able to wear him out just after the 5 innings. Jason Monty, 2 1/3 to string together the 1 run. 5 base runners against Monty, Neeson, Hill, and now Malone. Each of the last few pitchers, it has been 2 2/3 scoreless frames. The bottom of the 11th inning is here, and it sets up for Prentice Redmond. Redmond today is 0 for 4 with a walk. First pitch, outside a curve. 1 ball and no strikes. Or rather, it appears as if there may have been another change. Next offering is inside the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Trying to figure, it is number 38, so that must be Malone. Next offering on this way, 2 balls, no strikes. Right-hander deals, and the pitch is inside. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. It appears to be Connor Graham, number 99. I must be blind. I read 3-3 or a 3-9, but now it's 99. It's Connor Graham. We do apologize. This call of the bullpen presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. The 2-1 is outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. So an inning is through for Malone. A hit, a walk, and a strikeout. As Connor Graham is behind the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. Pitch on its way. Fastball scooped up, low ball 4. Taking his base, Prentice Redmond. Second time he has walked tonight. And it sends Luis Lopez to the dish. A single in 5 at-bats for the third baseman. Connor Graham last night came in and took care of business against the Bluefish, or at least again for the rest of that inning, that 8th inning, when Jeremy Hill could not throw a strike. Completed 2/3 of an inning without giving up a run. Right-hander bores down with a fastball in the inside corner. Count, no balls and 1 strike. 15 runners left on base for the Fish. Just 8 for Long Island. And that's been the difference between keeping this game at 2-2 as opposed to the Bluefish perhaps coming out with a victory. The 0-1 is over the middle, no balls and 2 strikes. If the Bluefish and the Ducks had 8 runners left on base, then the Bluefish would have won the game 9-2. That's why the pitchers have worked as effectively as they have, and that's why we're still playing. Just the inability to drive in runs with runners in scoring position. The 0-2 swung on and missed. Lopez looked foolish on the breaking pitch as he strike out. One of the few times that he looked baffled tonight. And it sets up Ramon Vasquez. Let's take a look at the
Designated hitter.
scoreboard update in the Atlantic League. Courtesy of PointStreet.com and AtlanticLeague.com. As Vasquez moves forward, he is 2 for 5 tonight. First pitch, swung on and slapped to short. Lion squares, gets on one knee, flips the second one onto first. Double play to end the inning. We're going to the 12th. The game is tied at 2. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year, we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community, too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
At Miller Lite, we believe if you're not choosing a light beer with more taste, you need to man up, not man down. Because up is way better than down. You don't tell someone sad to cheer down. What's down, dog? A steamy pile and you just stepped in it. Your girlfriend's not wearing a push-down bra? It's called gravity, Isaac Nitwit. Can I be down front with you? All this down talk is bringing me down. So don't man down, man up, and choose a light beer with more taste. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
We welcome you back to the Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles here. Dan Stange remains on the mound after working out of the jam in the 11th inning. And it is the top of the 12th. The game is tied at 2. The final scores from around the Atlantic League, the Bluefish, well, they'll be happy to know that the Camden Riversharks lost 4-3 this morning. They won't be happy that Southern Maryland took down Sugarland for the second straight day, 4-3 from Regency Furniture Stadium. And that is the second team on their 2-week road trip. The first pitch is a fastball landing inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Somerset edged Lancaster tonight 7-6, and that was after the Patriots had trailed by as many as 4 runs heading into the 8th inning. Somerset scored 4, then Lancaster put up 2 as the pitches struck foul to the right, 1 ball and 1 strike. And then the Patriots, down 6-4 in the ninth, scored 3 more times, led by Mr. Matthews, 3 RBI. Drennan, the center fielder, had a pair of RBI, as the next pitch is taken, 2 balls and 1 strike. A completely different Somerset team. The only recognizable name on there is you have Jeff Nettles and Jesse Horlbeck as the offering is outside and high, 3 balls and 1 strike. And Dan DeGeorge as well. So many changes to the lineup, at least for today. 3-1 from Stange. Fastball in, ball 4. And the leadoff man is on as Josh Johnson goes to first base to put Dan Lyons in the batter's box. Will Lyons attempt to bunt to push Johnson over to second, or will he just swing away? J.D. Durbin against Mr. McDonald. Both pitchers performed well enough to keep their teams in the game. 6 innings, 4 runs, 6 2/3, no runs. But Tim Hamlock with the loss tonight. I'm sure Dave Collins not too happy about that as the pitch is bunted over the first base side. Darryl Jones fields and tags out Lyons in the first base path. It is a 3 unassisted for Lyons on the sacrifice as Johnson advances to second with 1 man out. Craig Binnick is 0 for 4 tonight, and he has been stymied by Bluefish pitching in this series. Just 1 hit
Number 24, Craig Binnick.
in 9 at-bats with a stolen base and a hit by pitch. That's it for Binnick, but 1 hit can change Long Island's fortunes tonight. The 1-out toss from Stange on its way. The right-hander stands in. The pitch paints the outside corner. Called a strike by Mr. Edmondson. No balls and 1 strike. Wright with the victory for the Patriots and Roop with the save for Somerset. A pitch way high. 1 ball and 1 strike. It is a rather chilly night going on. More than 3 hours and 35 minutes in the ball game. 1-1 from the righty. Swung on and served foul off to the right. Ricocheted off the facade and lands about 5 rows back. Spare baseball for batting practice for some of those out there. A lot of people just want to watch the game at this point. A ball and 2 strikes. The left fielder for the Ducks leans in the 1-2, and it's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He led the Atlantic League in batting average a year ago. It just has not quite gotten off to the same start. Perhaps pitchers adjusted. Perhaps it had to do with the fact that there was less pressure for Binnick to produce last year, considering he batted toward the bottom of the order as opposed to the top, where he's expected to score and produce more runs. 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Tight breaking pitch from Stange to fan Binnick, and it brings up Bryant Nelson. 2 for 5 tonight. Just some great pitching from both teams, especially their bullpens. Bridgeport's been more economical with their pitchers as Willie Upshaw walks quickly to the mound, expressing his approval, but at the same time trying to find out if his pitcher, right-hander Stange, is able to get the final batter of the inning. Final batter would send it to the bottom of the 12th. And either way, the Bluefish will have their chance to hit in the bottom of that inning. 2 for 5 with a run scored for Nelson. Stange has tossed 32, and 17 of those going into the strike zone. Not a great ratio, but it started off more skewed earlier in his outing. Inning and 2/3 complete for the right-handers. The pitch is swung on and served to the opposite field and lands into the field box section. No balls and 1 strike. Quick turnaround. It seems to be, if this game continues to move at this pace, the 0-1 from the right-hander. Swung on, jam shot foul to the netting, no balls and 2 strikes. And it's all been about getting ahead of the hitters. It seems almost every time that either Long Island or Bridgeport pitchers are throwing the ball, I say strike 1 before I say ball 1. And strike 2 before I say ball 2. The 0-2. Swung on and grounded sharply to short. Rogers gobbles it up and throws to first for the final out of the frame. Rogers corralled the baseball as he veered towards the second base bag and was able to throw him out for the final out of the frame. We've completed 11 and a half here at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Bridgeport and Long Island are tied at 2. The bottom of the 12th is coming up right after this on BridgeportBluefish.com.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the passion.
Baseball is different in a lot of ways, where the history of the sport means so much. And it's something we should never forget. And I think the Hall of Fame has a way of reminding us.
Anytime that I visited it, I'm like a little kid.
You people at the Hall of Fame have done a great job of preserving the history of the game.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the passion. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org. Jimmy Rollins talks about the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Just being in the same place that all these great ball players, reside at now, their career. You go find their stats, their jerseys, their helmets, their cleats, and to have something of mine, that is something that anybody that goes to the Hall of Fame can see.
Preserving history, honoring excellence, connecting generations. At the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you search with the real Yellow Pages, you get more than a contractor. You get a whole new curb appeal. It's not just getting directions to a dry cleaner with YP.com. It's rescuing an old favorite from the back of the closet. And it's more than finding a locksmith with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting to sleep in your own bed. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the real Yellow Pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T.
The YP.com website is your local search engine. If you're looking for a good restaurant, it can help you find the right one nearby with ratings and reviews. Or if your car breaks down, you can use the YP app to find the closest repair shop. Or maybe you're just looking for something to do on a Friday night. Well, it has great local coupons for all sorts of things in your area. No matter what, when, or where, if you're looking for something, YP Local Search can help you find it. So go to YP.com or download the app to search local, find local, and save local.
Bluefish baseball continues to the bottom of the 12th inning as the Bluefish and Ducks are knotted at 2. Connor Graham was in for the 11th inning. He stays on to pitch the 12th. He allowed a walk in the last frame. The first pitch on its way is outside and low. The count 1 ball. and no strikes. Left-handed hitter is taken outside. The count at 1-1 strike. The debut of pinch hitter Mr. Colin Delhomme. And he replaces Darryl Jones over at first base for now. The 1-1 outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. If Colin Delhomme is there taking the pinch hit opportunity, you might see Brock Peterson be at first base. Colin Delhomme more of an outfielder, although I'm sure he could adjust to first base. The 2-1 is swift. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Colin Delhomme, a left-handed batter who was just signed a day or so ago. Former AAA ball player. Lots of teams were looking to try to sign him, but just could not quite get with an affiliate organization this year. The 2-2. Swung on and poked foul. Quick bat. First thing you notice about him, left-handed hitter who has just cat-like reflexes with his wrists. That ball looked like it was by him, and he just flickered it to the left side to stay alive. 2-2 on its way from the righty. Swung on, chopped on the ground towards third, angling Brian Nelson. He grabs and throws to first in time. Delhomme showing his speed down the first base side, but it was just hitting the wrong spot. Nelson rotated from his third base position and was able to deliver across. 1 away. Bring Luis Rodriguez to the plate. The scoring all started in the first inning with a triple by Bryant Nelson, followed by an inside-the-park home run from Brandon Singh just to the right of center. It was 2-0 Long Island. The Bluefish squeaked across runs in the 4th, and in the 6th inning, RBI single by Eddie Rogers with runners at first and second base. As the 1-out toss is swung on and grounded to third. Nelson bobbles for a moment but recovers and fires to first in time to retire the side. That's why it's called the hot corner. Sometimes it could be very difficult to pick the ball up. And as a result, 5-3, Rodriguez just could not get there. So a couple of ground ball tests for Nelson. Pedro Lopez steps up. Nobody is playing Pedro Lopez in. So if he were to lay down the bunt, first, third, plenty of area to do it. But he takes first pitch outside, 1 ball and no strikes. The Bluefish have yet to hit a home run this season. Long Island has yet to hit a home run in this series. The 1-0, fastball inside, 2-0. The reason I bring that up is because a lot of players tend to have that nervous energy, saying that they could be the hero because they'll tend to get a little bit out of their comfort zone. 2-0, fastball inside, 3 balls and no strikes. But the Bluefish, their problem has not been their ability to hit the home run ball, although they haven't hit one. Their problem more so has been driving in runners with runners in scoring position, leaving tons of runners on. 3-0, lines up low, ball 4. So Pedro Lopez walks with 2 out. It's the second pass allowed by Connor Graham. And it sends up Eddie Rogers. Approaching 4 hours in game time. Game was at 7:05. It's right now 10:50 on the East Coast. 3 hours and 45 minutes. Eddie Rogers in the right-handed hitter's batter's box as the tall right-handed pitcher pulls the ball to his chest and deals a fastball inside. 1 ball and no strikes. The tall right-hander, number 99, 6'7", 235 pounds. Last team was with Akron in the Eastern League. Right-hander peers in for the sign. The 1-0 swung on and missed. Would appear to be a split. The count, 1 ball and 1 strike. So many times that the Bluefish were involved in extra inning games. Back in 2010, when the team made the run to the Atlantic League Championship Series. And this squad reminds me much of that because of their ability to fight. and their ability to execute the small plays. The 1-1 dances outside and low, 2 balls and 1 strike. And they have not quite seen this long of a game against Long Island in quite a while. Last year it happened on the road, not quite at home. 2-1, whiffed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tucked inside. Think about it this way. Bluefish pick up a run, they win the game. If they don't, the Ducks come up, they have their chance to come up to the plate for the 13th time in the game. Been a part of some of the longer contests as well, as the next offering is fallen off to the left. Foul, 2-2. There was a 17-inning affair against Lancaster. There was another 14-inning contest against York. There have been quite a few doozies. And this one is shaping out to be more of a pitcher's duel than anything else. Not more hitters just stranding base runners. The pitch is grounded over to second. Navarrete fields and throws to first in time to retire the side. Bluefish have stranded runners, but the Ducks not quite as many, as we have completed 12 at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. The game is tied at 2 after a runner is stranded. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Jimmy Rollins talks about the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Just being in the same place that all these great ball players, reside at now, their career. You go find their stats, their jerseys, their helmets, their cleats, and to have something of mine, that is something that anybody that goes to the Hall of Fame can see.
Preserving history, honoring excellence, connecting generations. At the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you search with the real Yellow Pages, you get more than a contractor. You get a whole new curb appeal. It's not just getting directions to a dry cleaner with YP.com. It's rescuing an old favorite from the back of the closet. And it's more than finding a locksmith with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting to sleep in your own bed. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the real Yellow Pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T.
The YP.com website is your local search engine. If you're looking for a good restaurant, it can help you find the right one nearby with ratings and reviews. Or if your car breaks down, you can use the YP app to find the closest repair shop. Or maybe you're just looking for something to do on a Friday night. Well, it has great local coupons for all sorts of things in your area. No matter what, when, or where, if you're looking for something, YP Local Search can help you find it. So go to YP.com or download the app to search local, find local, and save local.
This is Terry McGriff, pitching coach for the Bridgeport Bluefish, and you're listening to Perry Miles on the Bluefish Broadcast.
This is Brett Dowdy. Bridgeport Baseball is coming to you on the air right now.
Rami Lewis is in the game for the Bluefish. This call to the bullpen presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. Top of the 13th inning from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Perry Miles here with you throughout the game as Brandon Singh, Wilberto Ortiz, who was the pinch runner for Ryan Garco and Ray Navarrete, but Wilberto Ortiz only pinch ran for the designated hitter, which means he will not be up at the plate. The designated hitter gets replaced as the first pitch is on its way from the left-hander. Toss is swung on and lined on one hop to second. Snagged by Lopez. He throws to first in time. Pedro records the first out of the frame. And the Wilberto Ortiz, actually, because he pinch ran rather than pinch hit for the designated hitter, was able to step up to the plate. So Wilberto Ortiz, all he does is take his place in the box. Not much playing time, just one game for Ortiz. AAA experience. And last was with Rancho Cucamonga, high A affiliate of the Dodgers, as the one-out toss is on its way. So Ortiz at the plate. First pitch bends over the middle of the plate. No balls and one strike. Wilberto, one of the infielders listed on this team, the 0-1. Fastball on the outside corner, 0-1-2. And remember this, because Ryan Garko had that pinch runner out of the game for the rest of the night, they're missing one of their sluggers. They're hoping to score a run to put an end to the game as the 0-2 is lined foul down the left field line towards the Tart. No balls and 2 strikes. 10:57 on the East Coast. Rami Lewis was okay his last time out. An inning of shutout relief. A couple of base runners. The 0-2 swung on and slashed foul down the right field line out of play close to the Harbor Club. 0-2. 13 hits for the Bluefish, 1 error. 9 hits for the Ducks, and no miscues. The wind not playing much of a factor since about 40 minutes ago, although it's starting to increase a little bit. Not too much, though. 0-2. Fastball inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One more game tomorrow between Long Island and Bridgeport. Paul Segura hits the hill for the Bluefish as the 0-2 is swung on and sharply grounded to short. Bobbled for a moment by Rogers. He regathers and throws to first to just nab the base runner. 2 away. Ortiz was getting down the line. Just could not quite get there. And the 6-3 put out brings 2 out in the frame for Ray Navarrete.
Number 16, Ray Navarrete.
Navarrete had a 5-for-5 day. Opening night against Somerset at TD Bank Ballpark. Close to his alma mater at Seton Hall University. A Long Island kid. It was the first time that he had 5 hits in a game with the Ducks as the first pitch lands outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Since then, though, he's hit a little bit of a wall. Navarrete yesterday 1 for 3. And today, not quite hitting the ball as well. The 1-0 from Rami. Lewis sends a pitch high on a fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Top of inning 13. Scouts still out there trying to do their homework as well. 2-0. Outside, 3 balls and no strikes. Navarrete has reached base once today. He had a single in the 4th inning. We're in the 13th. Former big leaguer sets and deals 3-0 right on the corner, 3-1. It was a heater. Last year, AAA Las Vegas, Major League Toronto Blue Jay. He was with Toronto, ERA of a little more than 5.5. Left-hander deals, 3-1. On the corner, about thigh high, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Navarrete hoping to get on for the Ducks. Bridgeport hoping to hold him at bay. What happens? 3-2. Swung on and held on to by Machete Rodriguez for strike 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Bluefish bullpen at the end of 12.5. Bridgeport and Long Island tied at 2. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network. We'll be back.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community, too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
The YP.com website is your local search engine. If you're looking for a good restaurant, it can help you find the right one nearby with ratings and reviews. Or if your car breaks down, you can use the YP app to find the closest repair shop. Or maybe you're just looking for something to do on a Friday night. Well, it has great local coupons for all sorts of things in your area. No matter what, when, or where, if you're looking for something, YP Local Search can help you find it. So go to YP.com or download the app to search local, find local, and save local.
This is Terry McGriff, pitching coach for the Bridgeport Bluefish, and you listen to Perry Miles on the Bluefish broadcast.
We welcome you back to Bluefish Baseball for inning number 13, the bottom half of the frame. The game is still tied at 2. Nobody scored since the 6th inning. Both bullpens have been stout in holding runners from scoring. Of course, the Bluefish have had their share of base runners, as first hitter in the order coming in is Joey Gathright. Kennard Jones and Prentice Redmond follow him. This has been a tight battle throughout. Started off with the Ducks leading 2-0 as the first pitch is swung on and fouled right off of himself. He is hurting, Gathright, as he shook his hand. May have hit his hand in foul territory. No balls and 1 strike. Imagine hitting the ball right off your ankle and then doing that same, having that same feeling to your fingers or your hand. That can hurt, especially on a cold night like this. The 0-1 to Gathright. Bunt attempt shown and then pulled back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the 13th inning. Nobody out. Third baseman Nelson at the lip of the infield grass, hugging the line as the pitch dances low. 2 balls and 1 strike. We'll get you the scoreboard update, courtesy of Point Streak and AtlanticLeague.com. The 2-1. Fastball low, 3 balls and a strike. Southern Maryland 4, Sugarland 3. That was a final from Regency Furniture in Waldorf. Somerset edged Lancaster tonight 7-6. Came back from a 4-run deficit and a 2-run deficit in the 9th. Pitch swung on and chopped in the ground foul as Gathright hits himself. He seems to like to be hitting himself. Did with the first pitch, hit it off his hand. Next one went right off his thigh. Loves taking a beating. The York Revolution were taking a couple of beatings early in the season because they weren't able to hit. But today they edged the Riversharks 4-3 at Sovereign Bank Stadium in York. 3-2. Swung on, bounced foul again. Did that hit Gathright again? 3 balls and 2 strikes. Almost getting a hit as often as hockey goaltenders, with rubber pucks flying at him from guys like Alexander Ovechkin or Marian Gaborik. Those two competed tonight in the National Hockey League. Washington and the Rangers tied at 1 in the series, and we'll give you a quick Major League update right after the 3-2 to Gathright. Pitch on its way. Inside, ball 4. So Gathright takes his base. He's been on base 5 consecutive appearances at the plate. 2 straight walks, a pair of singles, and a double. And it appears as if the Rangers and Capitals are in a similar situation that the Bluefish and Ducks are in. The only difference is instead of extra innings, it's in overtime. It's actually in double overtime. More than a minute in, the Rangers and Capitals are tied at 1. As the first pitch to Kennard Jones is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Nashville leads Phoenix 2-0 from the state of Tennessee. Third period, close to the beginning of the third period. In the NBA, Spurs crushed the Jazz by 31. The Pacers win Game 3 against Orlando by 23. As the 1-0 is a drag bunt up the right side. 1 play for the pitcher, and he throws to first where Navarrete covers. So it's a 1-4 putout, setting up a runner in scoring position as Kevin Baez scampers out of the dugout to make sure that the communication is appropriate out there for the situation. Joey Gathright moves to second base on the sacrifice by Kennard Jones. Brings up Prentice Redmond. Pitcher in on the mound is Connor Graham. 2 1/3 innings so far. 3 walks and a strikeout. He's throwing shutout baseball. Meanwhile, getting back to other scores, the Memphis Grizzlies have a halftime lead against the Clippers. 51-47 against LA. And in the big leagues, Yankees get shut out by the Orioles 5-0. The Astros blast the Mets 8-1, and the Mets got swept in Houston. The Red Sox get doubled up by the Oakland Athletics 4-2. The one-out toss with Gathright edging his way closer to third. The pitch is outside before Gathright retreats. 1 ball and no strikes. Gathright can fly. Will he take off? He has 2 stolen bases this year. The 1-0. Swung on and Greenwich sharply to third. Gathered by Nelson. He has Gathright in a pickle. Nelson runs to second. Has Gathright tagged out. And that becomes a fielder's choice. 5-4. I believe it's 5-4 with Navarrete tagging out. Or was that 5-6? Either way, it was a great play by Nelson, great awareness by the third baseman, poor awareness by Gathright. If a ball's hit to the left side of the infield, the rule of thumb is to make sure that it gets by the infielder. Otherwise, you're caught in the middle of a rundown the way that Gathright was. 2 outs as Luis steps up to the plate. Luis Lopez, then the pitch runs outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Prentice Redmond is at first base with 2 men out. Will he steal a base? He's not taking much of a lead at this point, but he's angling with his front foot, and the pitch swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Redmond sometimes has the ability to not only steal the base, but sense when the pitcher is going to throw it to the plate. Just has not been able to time it so far this year as he scampers off the bag. The pitch is swung on and lifted into right field. Not too deep as James McGowan makes the play for the final out of the frame. We are going to the 14th inning. The Bluefish and the Ducks are tied at 2. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
This one, best girlfriend ever. It had been a long day and an even longer week, so I headed toward the kitchen, refreshment I did seek. But after swinging open the fridge, I saw the most horrific sight. Not a single cold beverage, not a single Coors Light. I grabbed my keys, it was time to hit the store, but stopped when I heard a knock at the door. It was my girlfriend, bearing gifts of Coors Light. Best girlfriend ever? You got that right.
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community, too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
At Miller Lite, we believe if you're not choosing a light beer with more taste, you need to man up, not man down. Because up is way better than down. You don't tell someone sad to cheer down. What's down, dog? A steamy pile and you just stepped in it. Your girlfriend's not wearing a push-down bra? It's called gravity, Isaac Nitwit. Can I be down front with you? All this down talk is bringing me down. So don't man down, man up, and choose a light beer with more taste. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
We welcome you back to Bluefish Baseball, top of the 14th inning. More than 4 hours into the game, and still the pitchers are dominating. 2-2 the score, 13 hits for the Fish, 9 for the Ducks. The first one on its way from Lewis in this frame is lifted foul to the right. No balls and 1 strike. The Ducks even had guys like Ray Navarrete thinking about bunting the baseball to advance the runners. But then the other hitters were unable to come through. It's been that kind of game. The pitchers have stood out as the 0-1 is a fastball inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Batter is Lou Ford. James McGowan follows, and Josh Johnson is the last batter projected up for Long Island this inning. The tall left-hander stands up, the 1-1. Swung on and slapped into right field. Prentice Redmond on the move and makes the basket catch for the first out of the frame. All he needed to do was drop the glove a little bit. Caught it in the webbing of the glove as he had it below his stomach area towards the line. As Prentice Redmond records the out and right. F9 if you're scoring at home. James McGowan moves forward. McGowan 0 for 5. Several fly ball outs. Kennard Jones been his favorite target. It might be again. Line drive to left. Kennard has it. 2 away. So many flyouts to left field. What is it? Are they best friends? James McGowan has found Kennard every single time, almost. Now 0 for 6 in the contest. Kennard, no slouch on defense. Speed. Got a little bit of an arm. Former AAA ball player. Got the experience. And with 2 men out, Josh Johnson steps up. Left-hander Lewis plants the pitch low. 1 ball and no strikes. Johnson has reached base each of the last 3 at-bats. A single, a double, and a walk. Needless to say, he has not scored any of those times. The 1-0. Fastball on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Josh Johnson recorded outs first 2 at-bats before going on that surge. The 1-1 tails outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Deep into the night in Bridgeport. And tomorrow they'll have a 7:05 first pitch at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. The 2-1 swung on and missed. Big rip by Johnson. Counted 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you took a look at the box score or the scorekeeping, there are 15 innings in my scorebook. Pretty much be running out of room at this point. It is the 14th. The 2-2 swung on and missed. High cheese from Rami Lewis to retire the side in order. 2 scoreless, 2 strikeouts, retired the Ducks in order in his 2 innings of work. At the end of 13 and a half, the Bluefish and Ducks are tied at 2. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network. I'll be back right after this.
Hey kids, it's not too late to join BB and all of his friends by becoming a member of the Bluefish Snappers Club. The Snappers Club is the newest club for all of the biggest or littlest Bluefish fans. As a member of the Snappers Club, you'll not only get free entrance on Snappers Club Day, but you'll also get a membership card to show all of your friends, plus a special t-shirt that will tell everyone you're a member of the club. After each Sunday home game, Baseball Bunch members will also be invited onto the field to run the bases, just like the Bluefish do. You'll even receive a newsletter that will fill you in on all of your favorite Bluefish players, along with all the news that BB Snappers Club has to offer. To join the coolest club around, call 203-345-4800 or go to bridgeportbluefish.com/kids/snappers to become a member of BB's Snappers Club.
Shark tooth, screwdriver, golf tee from the golf trip that you never went golfing on, grill fork, tuning fork, fork, drumsticks, a motel key. Let's not talk about the motel key. Needle nose pliers, a spark plug, a domino, a house key. There's lots of things you can use to open the new Miller Lite Punch Top can, but you'll always get the same thing, a smooth pour with less glug. However you punch it, it's Miller time. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the passion.
Baseball is different in a lot of ways, where the history of the sport means so much. And it's something we should never forget, and I think the Hall of Fame has a way of reminding us.
Anytime that I've visited it, I'm like a little kid.
You people at the Hall of Fame have done a great job of preserving the history of the game.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the passion. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
This is Brett Dowdy. Bridgeport Baseball is coming to you on the air right now.
Hello, my name's Joe Bateman. You're listening to Perry Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com.
If I die young, bury me inside, lay me down on a bed of roses, sink me in the river.
We welcome you back to Bluefish Baseball. Neither team will go down at this point. 22, Jeff Lyman on the hill out of Surprise, Arizona. Lyman yesterday picked up the loss for the Ducks. 1-1 this season with an ERA of 5.79. 4 2/3 innings for the right-hander. 3 earned runs and 4 base hits on his resume. 3 walks to boot. Opponents hitting .267 against Lyman, who was yesterday's winning pitcher, and he'll have to take on Ramon Vasquez. Vasquez followed by, as the first pitch is inside, 1 ball and no strikes. I believe he's followed by Brock Peterson, who took over at first. Colin Delhomme pinch hit for Darryl Jones. The pitch is cracked down the left field line, but it shoots foul close to the picnic area. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Delhomme pinch hit for Darryl Jones, but then Brock Peterson entered the game as the first baseman. He'll get a shot. Had RBI number 500 in his career yesterday. The 1-1. Curveball snapped inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Nifty playing for both teams. Nifty pitching by both teams. Able to wiggle out of jams. That's where we stood. No scoring since the 6th. We're in the 14th. 2-1. Skips low. 3 balls, 1 strike. The problem for the Fish really has been the 3 and 4 spots today. Just 3 times that Redmond and Lopez have gotten on base. Luis Lopez. Because the bottom of the order has gotten on base quite often. And of course, and Darryl Jones did not provide the bat in the lineup today. The 3-1 is up high, ball 4. So Vasquez walks. Most likely there won't be a pinch runner, but that's partially because Vasquez has decent speed over there. It brings up Brock Peterson for the first time. He went 1 for 5 with that double to left center field. An RBI as well. And before that, he was 0 for 12. So that was his first hit of the season. 1 for 16 this year. First pitch, Peterson shows bunt, pulls back. The ball is low, 1 ball, no strikes. The Bluefish looking for any sort of momentum tilter. Maybe Peterson gets a hit. Long Island hoping for maybe a double play as the bunt attempt is sent up the right side and trickles foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brock Peterson usually hits between 17 and 20 home runs during a given season, which is why he's reached the 500 RBI mark in his career. He said earlier before the game started, said that it shows how long he's been in the league, and he's thankful to have been competing in baseball for this long. The 1-1. Bunt attempt squeezed up the right side. It is successful. The first baseman bobbles. He throws to first. It's not in time. I believe it's going to be a sacrifice and an E on the first baseman in Brandon Singh. So it won't count as an official at bat, but it does count as an error. The first one for the Ducks in this game, and for what seemed to be very good defense from Long Island, now has led up a base runner on the sacrifice. Runners at first and second. And it brings up Luis Rodriguez. The runner would have advanced to second base. Regardless, Vasquez was almost already there. And the intent for the first baseman, Singh, was to flip it to Ray Navarrete covering on the opposite wheel play. Luis Rodriguez steps up, and it is likely that he is going to show bunt. 2-2 the score in the bottom of the 14th inning with nobody out. Rodriguez shows bunt and sends it into foul ground, according to the home plate umpire. Josh Johnson emerged from behind the plate, caught it, tried to keep it in fair ground to try to tag Rodriguez out in the process, gun it down to third, but it was a foul ball. No balls and 1 strike. That was at least where his thought process was. As Luis Rodriguez is 2 for 6 today. Double in the second, a single in the 10th. The 0-1, will Rodriguez show bunt again? He does, but the fastball lands away as he pulled back. 1 ball and 1 strike. At what point will Rodriguez not show the bunt? If he's up in the count 3-1, or even 2-1, will he continue to display the bunt? 1-1 on its way. Right-hander sees the play going on, and the pitch is bunted foul again. So Rodriguez was unable to get the job done for the first 2 pitches. Now, a ground ball to the right side, a slow chopper to the right side would be just as effective. But a slow chopper to the right side could also mean a fielder's choice opportunity at second to at least keep the double play alive. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander set. The bunt attempt is fouled out of play. Strike 3. And Rodriguez strikes out on the bunt. The rule is, if you bunt with 2 strikes, you foul it off, you're out. And it brings Pedro Lopez to the dish. 3 walks, a single, a sacrifice, a run scored, and a strikeout. Pedro Lopez has reached base 4 times out of his 5 plate appearances, and the sacrifice does not really count towards the on base or the batting average. The runner goes from second, and there is no throw. That base was stolen. I believe Ramon Vasquez clear. Boy, that was daylight for Vasquez. Runners at first and third. Now a long fly ball would end the game. A long fly ball would mean a sacrifice fly. And, that's why the outfielders, I'm shocked that they have not moved in. It's not like they have tremendous arms out there. They have solid arms as the pitch is swung on and lifted foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. But why aren't they moving in for Pedro Lopez? The outfielders. The infielders, they're setting up for the double play up the middle. First baseman Brandon Singh holding on the base runner at first. As the next pitch is outside. Brock Peterson has decent speed over there. Ramon Vasquez was led off with a walk. Brock Peterson reached on a sacrifice and an error, as his intent was to push the runner to second, which he did, but then reached on an error because of the bobble. The 2-1. Fastball away. The count 3 balls and 1 strike. If Pedro Lopez reaches, Eddie Rogers would have a chance to play hero. Of course, Long Island would set up for a force at every base. The 3-1. Swung on it, smoked, foul down the right field line. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lopez has shown great patience at the plate. Perhaps the next one is the one that he picks up his second hit of the night from. 3-2 on its way. Low ball 4 as Brock Peterson took off. That was a gutsy call by Willie Upshaw, because if there's a strikeout, there's a chance that Josh Johnson throws it down to second base. Peterson did not get a great jump off the bag. And with 1 man out and the bases chucked, Josh Johnson convenes with his pitcher and Jeff Lyman, figure out how they are going to approach this at bat. A suicide squeeze is a possibility. A sacrifice fly is based on location. But suicide squeeze is a way that the Bluefish could possibly win this game. A sharp ground ball may not. There is a force at every base. Eddie Rogers, 2 times he's been on base tonight. He is 1 for 3 with 2 sacrifices and a walk. The 1-out pitch. Curveball drops right to the zone. Over the middle of the knees. No balls and 1 strike. A gut-wrenching pitch from Lyman. No balls and 1 strike. Bottom of the 14th inning. Bluefish score a run, they'll win. Otherwise, it's going to the 15th. 0-1. Swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. Getting into closer to the 4.5-hour territory. Start time 7:05. Closing in 11:30 Eastern. 0-2 from the righty. Pitch on its way from Lyman. Swung on ground to third. Could be 2. Nelson throws the second one. On to first. Got him. The double play. 5-4-3. The Ducks stay alive because of that. The Bluefish had the bases loaded with 1 man out, and they cannot score. At the end of 14, the Bluefish and Ducks are tied at 2. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the passion.
Baseball is different in a lot of ways, where the history of the sport means so much. And it's something we should never forget. And I think the Hall of Fame has a way of reminding us.
Anytime that I've visited it, I'm like a little kid.
You people at the Hall of Fame have done a great job of preserving the history of the game.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the passion. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you flip through the real yellow pages for a plumber, you're actually looking to reclaim your home from a renegade faucet. It's not just getting directions to a tailor with YP.com. It's looking your best for an interview. And it's more than finding a mechanic with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting your road trip back on track. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the real yellow pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T.
Shark tooth, screwdriver, skeleton key, golf tee from the golf trip that you never went golfing on, grill fork, tuning fork, fork, the lucky fishing lure you snagged Alan with. Sorry, Alan. Drumsticks, chopsticks from the place you met that Dallas-based flight attendant. A motel key. Let's not talk about the motel key. A spark plug, a domino, a house key. How do these things make Miller Lite from a can even better? Find out May 2012. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
The Bluefish and the Ducks tied at 2. There was one home run in this game. It was an inside-the-park home run that started off the scoring in the first. Brandon Singh with a 2-run drive to center field on a dive play by Joey Gathright that eventually rolled all the way to the wall. The Bluefish scored 1 run in the 4th, courtesy of an Eddie Rogers RBI single. And then in the 6th inning, it was a Joey Gathright double after Pedro Lopez singled and advanced wild pitch. Joey Gathright was able to drive him in. Single, a sacrifice, a wild pitch, and then a double by Gathright to left field. That's where we stand. This call to the bullpen presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. Rami Lewis's day is over. 2 strikeouts and 2 innings of work for the left-hander as the first pitch is on its way from Joe Bateman, and the pitch lands on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. This is the 5th reliever for Bridgeport. Long Island has used now 6 relievers, Jeff Lyman being the 6th, and they intend for him to go a little bit longer as the 0-1 sways outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. There is nobody warming up in the Long Island bullpen at this point. Completely unconventional game between the Bluefish and the Ducks. Inside the park home run accounting for all the Ducks offense. And not too much pretty play from the Bluefish either as the pitch goes away. 2 balls and 1 strike. 19 runners left on base for the Bridgeport squad. Not nearly as many from Long Island. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Top of the 15th, pitch, fastball on the corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We have not gotten to the point where we would provide the score, or for that matter, the post-game report, but the post-game show is coming up following the conclusion of this ball game. 2-2 from Bateman. Drops the glove down and releases. Swung on and missed. Excellent breaking pitch from Bateman to strike out Dan Lyons, who led off the inning. And the Long Island squad has not gotten on base since the 12th inning. And it has been 10 consecutive hitters that have gone down. Binnick tonight, 0 for 5 with a hit by pitch. The 1-out toss from Bateman. Fastball directed outside. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 run in the 4th, 1 run in the 6th for the Bluefish as Luis Lopez. Not mentioning his name too much. He's at third as the pitch is lifted down the left field line, but a twist foul. A jam shot sent by Binnick. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lopez was hanging out at the lip of the infield grass, perhaps anticipating that Binnick was going to bunt. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 home run in the series. Coming from Singh. The 1-1. Swung on and poked foul on the right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Joe Bateman has had a couple of appearances for the Fish this season. Bateman 3 games, 3 innings, 3 earned runs, 2 hits and 2 walks. Opponents, though, just hitting a $182 against the right-hander. He hides the ball well. 1-2, drops the glove down, settles at the belt. The 1-2. Swung on a jam shot liner down the right field line, but it goes foul. Towards the warning track just to the right of the Bluefish bullpen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Not too many players available for the Bluefish here on out, as far as the bullpen goes. Franklin Grzeski, remember, sustained a lower body injury. He's day-to-day with that, so no Grzeski available. the 1-2. Check swing did go around, says the home plate umpire, Chase Edmondson, for strike 3. 2 strikeouts already for Bateman. It brings Bryant Nelson to the dish. Dan Stange has already pitched. Rami Lewis has. Grzeski's waiting to get back. Jesse English has pitched. Jonah Bayless tossed 3 innings yesterday, so he probably is not available. And Joe Bateman is in right now. Would Jorge Julio be next? Would Isaac Hess perhaps get a call? Or perhaps maybe it is somebody's throw day as a starter. Get an inning or 2 out of them. The first pitch lines up with the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. And perhaps it would be the throw day of Isaac Hess or perhaps Matt Pike. 0-1 the count. Bateman delivers, and the pitch is popped up right field line. Angling over is Rodriguez, but he runs out of room. It falls 10 rows back. No balls and 2 strikes. 11:37 Eastern Standard Time. We'll give you a quick scoreboard update on the Bluefish broadcast. Boy, an entertaining game in Washington between the Rangers and the Caps. The 0-2 from Bateman. Swung on and missed. No, foul tipped as it hit Rodriguez. My apology. Rodriguez got hit with the baseball on a redirect, and it appears as if he gets back into the squatting position, throws the baseball, and he's just trying to shake it off. He's been in the field for this long. And at some point, just the way that it would be for a basketball player who's gone several overtimes or a hockey player that has gone several overtimes, you would need to replenish what you've lost. And the catching position is the most difficult one to play in baseball. They take all kinds of hits to the face, hits to the shins, the thighs as well, deflections from the batter. You have to be fearless behind home plate to be able to play the position. Not just fearless, but confident. No balls and 2 strikes. 2 men out in the top of the 15th. Bateman sets, and the pitch is grounded softly to first. Brock Peterson corrals and scampers to the bag for the final out of the frame. Another 1-2-3, the bottom of the 15th upcoming. The game is tied at 2. You're watching Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year, we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community, too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
At Miller Lite, we believe if you're not choosing a light beer with more taste, you need to man up, not man down. Because up is way better than down. You don't tell someone sad to cheer down. What's down, dog? A steamy pile and you just stepped in it. Your girlfriend's not wearing a push-down bra. It's called gravity, Isaac Nitwit. Can I be down front with you? All this down talk is bringing me down. So don't man down, man up, and choose a light beer with more taste. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
This is Kyle Zaleski. Thank you for tuning in to Bluefish Broadcast Network in 2012. Here is the Perry Miles.
Bluefish broadcast continues with Jeff Lyman on the hill. He gave up 3 base runners in the 14th inning and did not allow a run to score because of the excellent turn by Bryant Nelson, 5-4 to 3. Nelson, Navarrete, and Brandon Singh. The first batter due up in the frame is Joey Gathright. Kennard Jones, Prentice Redmond are the other 2 due up in this inning. Some of the fans have stayed around for quite a while to watch the rest of the ball game. While it is deep into the ninth, the first pitch sinks low, 1 ball and no strikes. Lots of action at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. The Bluefish have been unable to convert. Neither have the Ducks. The 1-0. Fastball high from Lyman. 2 balls and no strikes. The wind is beginning to change direction. It is slightly whipping out towards left field, more sideways than anything else, rather than out towards left. The 2-0. Fastball over the middle, 2-1. Which means it may help the Bluefish hitters, but the temperature's dropping, not helping them too much. Expected to drop into the 30s tonight. 2-1 way inside. 3 balls and 1 strike as Gathright had to juke out of the way. The New York rate, the update in scoring. This game may be going deep, but there is one other game which is comparable in hockey. The Rangers and the Capitals are tied at 1 at the end of the second overtime. 3-1 is inside, ball 4. So Gathright takes his base with a leadoff walk. It sends up Kennard Jones. Whoever wins this game easily would have the momentum for tomorrow, regardless of the starting pitcher. It would take that much energy for these teams to compete. The losing team almost deflated for at least the next game, and then perhaps regroup. If it happens to be the Bluefish, certainly they'll try to go with their next day starter, No Segura, as the throw to first is not in time. And if it is Long Island, of course, Joe Esposito did start a game. You have Bob Zimmerman, Mike Lurie, who were involved in the rotation, but in particular, Esposito, the next pitch, fastball up. Count it. 1 ball and no strikes. Tomorrow's pitching matchup, Paul Segura against Joe Esposito. Espo was a member of the Philadelphia Phillies minor league affiliates. The 1-0 is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. And attended the New York Institute of Technology out in Glen Cove. Glen Cove, for those of you out there, it's on Long Island, not too far away from Bethpage Ballpark where the Ducks play. Right-hander peers in for the sign, glove still, runner goes, pitch is swung on ground, right back to the mound, but because of the throw, and there's a throw down the right field line, Gathright rounding third, he's coming to the plate, there will be no throw, the Bluefish have won the game! The ground ball was right back at the mound. The pitcher, Jeff Lyman, looked at second and then threw the ball in the dirt down the right field line. Nobody was backing up. Gathright flew around second, flew around third, and came home to the plate without a throw. The Bluefish winning 15 by a score of 3-2. The post-game show comes to you right after this on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you flip through the Real Yellow Pages for a plumber, you're actually looking to reclaim your home from a renegade faucet. It's not just getting directions to a tailor with YP.com. It's looking your best for an interview. And it's more than finding a mechanic with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting your road trip back on track. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the Real Yellow Pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T.
Shark tooth, screwdriver, skeleton key, golf tee from the golf trip that you never went golfing on, grill fork, tuning fork, fork, the lucky fishing lure you snagged Alan with. Sorry, Alan. Drumsticks. Chopsticks from the place you met that Dallas-based flight attendant. A motel key. Let's not talk about the motel key. A spark plug. A domino. A house key. How do these things make Miller Lite from a can even better? Find out May 2012. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, scrumptious salmon Florentine, savory twin-grilled pork chops. Getting hungry? Your table awaits at the Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting. Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience at reasonable prices. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Take I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Plenty of free, secure parking.
The Gear Shop at the ballpark at Harbor Yard is your one-stop shop for everything Bluefish. Take a break from the action and check out all your Bluefish souvenir favorites. From men's and women's t-shirts and a wide selection of home, road, and other trendy hats, to Fear the Fin rally towels, team photos, and commemorative baseballs. The Gear Shop has it all. Don't forget about our kids' wear section, game-worn jerseys, even your own stuffed BB the Bluefish, and more. The Bluefish Gear Shop is located on the third base side of the concourse level at the ballpark at Harbor Yard and is open on game days. Come and browse all your favorite Bluefish apparel from an hour before the first pitch until the final out is made. Can't make it to the ballpark on game day but still want to support Fairfield County's only professional baseball team? Then check out the new Bluefish online store at BridgeportBluefish.com or call 203-345-4800 to schedule an appointment. The Bluefish Gear Shop. Perfect gifts for all ages and all sizes. Located at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, 500 Main Street, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Miller Lite wants you to win the greatest weekend that never happened. The ultimate Vegas weekend for you and a buddy. Just collect Miller Lite taste points for your chance to win one of 100 Vegas trips being given away this summer for the big weekend. So grab Miller Lite and seize the summer at tastepoints.com. It's that easy, and it never happened. It's Miller time. No purchase necessary. Open to legal U.S. residents 21 or older. Void in California and where prohibited. Sweepstakes begins 5/1/12 and ends 8/1/12. For details, how to enter, and complete official rules, go to tastepoints.com. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller time. Don't check your wrist or follow up with your supervisor, because Miller time has nothing to do with when and everything to do with who.
Hey, what's up, Tommy?
Miller Lite is brewed for the guys you're proud to call your brothers, who'll always talk you out of getting that faux hawk and never talk during your backswing. And when you've got your brothers and the light beer that tastes like a beer should, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Miller time. It's a rallying cry to the men around you, the ones that have become your brothers. A call to beer is answered with...
We welcome you back to the Bluefish Broadcast Network. What a strange way to end the game. 15 innings, and the Bluefish win by a score of 3-2. All because a ground ball snagged by Jeff Lyman, perpetrated by Joey Gathright on the move, trying to steal a base, do what he does. He slid into second base. Jeff Lyman fake throw into second, and then fired a dart into the dirt. And the ball just went right down the right field line for the Ducks. Eventually, Gathright rounded third. Eventually was able to score. Gathright was on his horse. To give you a quick update, Dan Meyer, 5 innings and an earned run, 8 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Jason Monty, 2 1/3, 3 hits and a run, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Neeson, a third of an inning and a hit with a strikeout. Jeremy Hill, an inning and a third shutout. Malone, an inning and a hit, a walk and a strikeout. Connor Graham, 3 innings and 3 walks, 1 strikeout. Lyman with a 1-2 record now. He picks up his second straight day with a loss. Go figure. 2 straight days, 2 straight losses, 3 walks, a strikeout, and an earned run allowed by Lyman picks up the loss. The winning pitcher, Joe Bateman, goes an inning, 2 strikeouts. Before that, it was Rami Lewis, 2 scoreless, 2 strikeouts. Stange, 2 scoreless innings, a hit, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. 1 strikeout for Jesse English in his shutout inning of work with 1 hit. Kyle Zaleski, 2 scoreless, 2 hits, and 2 strikeouts. Toby Stoner, an outstanding game, 7 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. All in all, 13 hits and 3 runs for the Bluefish with 1 error, 2 runs, 9 hits, and 2 miscues for Long Island. Ultimately what cost them the game, as the Bluefish wound up winning this contest by a score of 3-2. Bridgeport moves into a tie for first place with Southern Maryland. Both squads are 4-2. Long Island drops to 3-3 on the season. Let's go over the box score quickly. Most batters had at least 5 official at-bats. Some of the Bluefish members did not. 0 for 6 Binnick, 2 for 7 with a run from Nelson, a hit, a run, and 2 RBI from Singh. Garco 1 for 5. Ortiz did not have a hit. Navarrete 1 for 6. Lou Ford 2 for 6, 0 for 6 from McGowan. Josh Johnson 2 of 6, and 0 for 5 from Dan Lyons. 3 hits apiece from Gathright and Jones. Gathright with a run and RBI. Redmond 0 for tonight to snap his hitting streak. Luis Lopez 1 hit in 7 at-bats, 2 hits and 6 ABs for Vasquez with a run scored. Darrell Jones 0 for 4. Delhomme nothing. Peterson played first base, did not have an opportunity to get to the plate. Luis Rodriguez 2 for 7. Pedro Lopez 1 for 2 with a run. And Eddie Rogers 1 hit and RBI tonight for the Fish. Time of the game, 4 hours and 40 minutes. There were a slew of double plays today. Brandon Singh picked up his second home run, the inside the Parker, 2-run shot to center very early in the contest. Then in the 4th inning, the Bluefish responded. Ramon Vasquez with a single. A walk ensued. And after the fly ball to left and a strikeout, Eddie Rogers drove in Ramon Vasquez with an RBI single, making it 2-1 in favor of Long Island. In the 6th inning, it was more simple baseball for the Bluefish. Pedro Lopez with a single. He advanced the second on a sacrifice, advanced the third on a wild pitch, and then Joey Gathright doubled home Lopez to tie the game at 2. And then in the 15th, Joey Gathright walks to lead off the inning. Kennard Jones reaches on an E1. It was snagged to the mound by Lyman. He faked throwing to second and then threw the ball in the dirt at first as it skittered down the right field line. Joey Gathright was off to the races around the bases and scored the game-winning run, all on that error by Jeff Lyman. The final score from Bridgeport, the Bluefish 3, the Long Island Ducks 2. Let's quickly go through the Atlantic League scores and also update you on the scores from around the major leagues. First, the major leagues. Nashville takes down Phoenix 2-0. That's the final. The Rangers and the Capitals tied at 1 in the 3rd overtime. In the NBA, the Grizzlies lead the Clippers 83-75. That's in the 4th quarter. San Antonio defeats Utah 114-83. The Pacers take down the Magic 97-74 in game 2 and 3 action respectively. In Major League Baseball, still going on, the Angels lead the Minnesota Twins 9-0, top of the 6th. Miami on top of San Francisco 2-0, top of the 5th. Rest of the scores are final. First, the Yankees, the Mets, and the Red Sox. The Orioles shut down the Yankees 5-0. Meanwhile, the Mets, they lost to the Houston Astros 8-1. The Red Sox doubled up by the Oakland Athletics 4-2. Toronto defeats Texas 11-5. Kansas City edges Detroit 3-2. Colorado an 8-5 winner against the LA Dodgers. The Padres 5. The Milwaukee Brewers 0. More National League scores. Washington 5. The Arizona Diamondbacks 4. Atlanta wins a wild one, 15-13 in 11 innings. The Cubs take down the Reds 3-1. Tampa Bay squeaks out a victory against Seattle 5-4. Cleveland 6 and the Chicago White Sox 3. St. Louis trounces Pittsburgh by a score of 12-3. And the other piece of news today, which was a little bit disheartening for football fans and upsetting, Junior Seau was found dead, and the police are probing that the all-pro former linebacker, the retiree from 2009, thinks that it might be or might have been a suicide for Junior Seau. The baseball updates: York Revolution defeat the Riversharks this morning 4-3. Southern Maryland 4, Sugar Land 3. The final, and Somerset edges Lancaster 7-6. All one-run games in the Atlantic League tonight. The Bluefish move into temporary hold of first place, sharing with Southern Maryland, as the teams will get together. Long Island Bridgeport will tomorrow at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Paul Segura pitched 4 innings of 1-run baseball last time. He'll go for the Fish. The southpaw is opposed by right-hander Joe Esposito, who already has a loss on his resume, the only loss in the Somerset series for the Long Island Ducks. The final score from the ballpark at Harbor Yard, the Bluefish 3 and the Long Island Ducks 2. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow, 7:05 first pitch, 6:45 at the ballpark at Harbor Yard for the pregame show, Thirsty Thursday, presented by Budweiser.